The moment I open my eyes, I hear a woman breathing hard beside me. Soft, broken, trembling. I turn my head, and in the dim light from the window, I see her face clearly. Even in the darkness, she's strikingly beautiful, and the bruises on her collarbone are sickening. What is going on? A man's laughter echoes in my head. Ha 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 ha, scared of me yet? The crack of a belt. A bottle shattering. A woman sobbing. Those bruises, I'm the one who put them there. I've been reborn into the body of a man who shares my name, a drunk and an abuser. A worthless drifter. In my past life, I was Jason Chen, a $100 billion business legend, and now I open my eyes as the man of this broken household. A wife-beating, degenerate gambler. You're awake? Yeah. Can't sleep? Let me get you some tea. No need. Just go back to sleep. I keep my voice as gentle as I can, but she flinches like a startled rabbit. Barefoot on the cold floor, she glances back instinctively as she reaches the door. She's not looking at me. She's checking on the little girl asleep in the corner. Mia. Something in that look hits me like a fist closing around my chest, and I've seen every kind of deception the business world has to offer. In my past life, I closed deals worth tens of billions. I've met heads of state. I've known countless women. I thought I'd seen it all, but I've never seen a woman like this, beaten so badly, and the first thing she does upon waking is tiptoe around so she won't wake the man who hurt her. The second thing is checking if her daughter slept well. I sit up and rub my temples as the memories keep flooding in. He gambles. When he loses, he beats his wife. Shut your mouth. Get out. What are you doing here? You worthless tramp. You dare ruin my game? The worst beating left Mia bedridden for 3 days, and still she dragged herself up to cook for him. He never worked a day. The whole household survived on Mia's fruit stand at the market. She earned maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month, and he gambled it all away. When he lost, he'd come home demanding more. He didn't even care about his own daughter. Cherry ran a fever of 102 degrees. He was at the gambling table. Someone called him. He said flatly, "I'm playing cards. Tell me when she's dead." Then last night, "Hey man, I lost again." "No problem. I'll hand over Mia instead." "What's she worth?" "What do you mean what's she worth? She's gorgeous. Don't believe me? Come see for yourself tomorrow. I'll bring the boys by today." I close my eyes. I take a deep breath. Mia brings in a cup of tea. Cherry whimpers uneasily in her sleep. I lift the mosquito net and take the cup. "Come inside," I say. "Don't want mosquitoes getting in and biting the kid." Mia's head snaps up, staring at me. She can't believe the man who does nothing but hit and curse her just said something like that. She climbs into bed, soothes Cherry back to sleep, then lies down with her back to me. Her body is tense. After a long moment, she lets out a low, hollow laugh. "Can't sleep, can you?" I grunt in reply, as if that's the signal she's been waiting for. Her fingers tremble as she undoes a button on her nightgown. The bed creaks. "Try to be quiet." Her voice is flat, resigned. My head goes blank with shock. In an instant, I understand the original Jason made his own wife do this, right next to their sleeping daughter, just to keep his temper from exploding. A wave of disgust and rage surges straight to my head, and right behind it something sharper. A stab of grief. I grab her hand before she can undo another button. "Mia," I say, looking straight into her eyes. For the first time I say her name like I actually mean it. "Listen to me. You never have to do this again." Her whole body shudders. Her eyes go wide, shock and confusion, and underneath it, a flicker of hope she doesn't dare show. "Go to sleep. I'm going to give you and Cherry a real life." The plan is already taking shape in my mind. I wake at first light, not out of habit. It's this burning need in my chest to fix everything, right now, that won't let me sleep any longer. Mia is carrying Cherry out of bed as gently as she can. She startles when she sees my eyes open. "Sorry," she says nervously. I sit up. "I woke up on my own. I'll take Cherry to school today. Then I'll come help at the stand. Business hasn't been good lately." I can tell she thinks I'm angling for money again. Fear has become instinct for her. But this time, I get up and head for the kitchen instead. The fridge holds nothing but a few eggs and a bowl of cold rice. It's heartbreakingly bare. But when I set 2 plates of golden, fragrant fried rice on the table, Mia and Cherry just stare, like they're witnessing a miracle they can't explain. Cherry tilts up her little face. "Mommy, Daddy can cook!" Mia doesn't answer. She just looks at me, her eyes full of conflicting feelings. The market is loud and chaotic. I stand in front of Mia's fruit stand, frowning slightly. It's far too bare, nothing but apples, stacked carelessly, with no order at all. A crooked cardboard sign reads $1.90 per pound in scrawled handwriting. The vegetable vendor next door calls out loudly. "Well, look who's helping out today. Jason. Must be a sign of the apocalypse." I don't even glance her way. My mind is already racing. Only one product. Zero competitive edge. A rigid price with razor-thin margins. Barely any foot traffic. No draw whatsoever. Mia steps away to pay the stall fee. Before leaving, she glances at me uneasily and murmurs, "The apples cost $1.50 wholesale." "Got it." She walks off, looking back every few steps. I crouch down and pick up one of those thin red plastic bags, weighing it in my hand. Then I watch the crowd hurrying past, eyes sliding right over the stand like it doesn't exist. A plan to ignite demand instantly snaps into focus. I tear a piece of cardboard off one of the boxes. I pick up a marker lying nearby and write 2 big lines across it. Without hesitation, I rip down the old sign for $1.90. I plant the new sign front and center. The vendor next door cranes her neck to look. She bursts out laughing. $20 a bag, stuff it as full as you want. Jason Chen, Your brain's pickled in booze, you'll lose the shirt off your back. I rise slowly to my feet. I smile at her. Ma'am, you can't just count this by the pound. I'm not trying to make money off one bag of apples. I'm clearing the entire stock as fast as possible to get cash flowing again, and bringing this dead stall back to life. The new sign works fast. A middle-aged man wanders over. Boss, is it really $20? Fill the bag? These apples aren't sour, are they? I grab an apple without missing a beat. I peel it cleanly and hand him a piece. Try it. You decide if it's sweet. He tastes it and without another word snatches a bag and starts stuffing it. He's trying to stretch that bag to its absolute limit. I smile calmly. If you can carry it, it's yours. That line breaks the dam wide open. The crowd surges in all at once. $20 isn't much. But fill it however you want, lights a fire in something primal in human nature. The vendor next door freezes, her smile stuck mid-face, mouth hanging open. She watches the crowd swarm, and the apples disappear in seconds. She drops her own scale weight and doesn't even notice. Meanwhile, Mia finishes paying the stall fee. She heads back, weighed down with worry. Even from a distance, she can see her stall buried under a crowd. Her face drains white with panic. Convinced I've caused some kind of disaster, she shoves her way through, and what she sees stops her cold. I'm standing behind the stall. Not groveling, not losing my temper. Just calmly taking money and handing out bags. The crowd around me is grabbing apples like madmen. The same apples that used to sit unsold all day are vanishing right before her eyes. When she spots the sign, $20 a bag, fill it however you want, her face goes pale. Are you insane? $20, fill it as full as you want. We're going to lose everything. Relax, I say, pointing at the bags. 5 pounds tops fits in there. We're making money. Look, they think they're getting away with something and they're throwing cash at us for it. She stares, stunned. She looks at the line of people. How much have we made? Almost 500. 500? Her eyes go round, staring at me, like she's looking at a complete stranger. The apples are nearly gone, and the line keeps growing. Should we restock? I ask. The line erupts immediately. Boss, go get more. Mia grabs her phone, and on my instruction orders an entire truckload of apples. Old Lee, the supplier, drives over with the delivery. When he sees what's going on, he can't stop marveling. By the time it's nearly time to pick up Cherry from school, more than half the truckload is already sold. Not bad at all, Old Lee mutters, doing the math on his fingers. Then his eyes widen. My God, you must have moved over 1,000 pounds today. Mia can't believe it. How much is that worth? Revenue's around 4,300, I say. It's a small sum, barely worth mentioning, but it's the first step toward this family standing back on its feet. Mia looks dazed. She used to struggle to earn that much in an entire month. After we close the stall, I take Mia grocery shopping. Fish, meat, ribs. It costs almost $300. Her lips move like she wants to object, but she stays quiet. I know it pains her, but today we're celebrating. We pick up Cherry from school. She sees my arms full of groceries and jumps with excitement. Daddy, are we having a feast? We sure are. Sweet and sour fish, braised ribs. I lean down and nuzzle her cheek. Yay, I love you the most, Daddy. She skips circles around me. Mia watches us, and her gaze softens. For so long now, this house has known nothing but silence and fear. Now finally, there's a little warmth in it. The three of us walk home together, laughing and talking. Cherry chatters away nonstop. A faint smile rests on Mia's face. This is everything I wanted when I was reborn. As we pass a corner shop, Cherry suddenly tugs at my sleeve. Her eyes light up as she points at a glass tank inside. Daddy, look! Little goldfish! All red and pretty! It's just an ordinary goldfish worth a few dollars, but to Cherry, it's a priceless treasure. Alright, Daddy will buy you one. Mia glances back. I'll head home and start washing the vegetables. Come back soon. She hurries off toward the rundown apartment building a dozen yards away. I'm holding Cherry, picking out a fish at the shop, when out of the corner of my eye, I catch a few figures lurking near our front door. They've blocked Mia just as she's pulling out her keys. My stomach drops. Sis-in-law, been waiting on you a while. Mia jumps back, clearly startled, eyeing them warily. What do you want? Blondie leans in with a smug grin. Just here to give you a heads up. Your husband Jason had some bad luck at the table last night, so he put you up as collateral. Figured the boys could have a little fun. Mia sways on her feet, and the groceries slip from her hands. Her face goes deathly pale. Every ounce of strength seems to drain out of her body. I break into a run. By the time I reach her, Mia has already turned her back on the thugs, facing the direction I'm coming from, every trace of color drained from her face. Tears pour silently down her cheeks. She looks at me, holding our daughter, carrying a little goldfish tank, walking toward her like some perfect father. Her lips move. She looks like she's struggling to speak. Then I hear her say, Jason Chen, you spent a whole night and a whole day putting on this act just to push me into the fire myself? She doubles over, snatches up the groceries she just dropped, and hurls them at me with every ounce of strength she has. I hate you. I'm divorcing you. The food slams against me and scatters across the ground. Cherry bursts into terrified tears. Mommy, don't hit Daddy! Before I can say a word, Mia spins around and tries to bolt inside, but she doesn't make it. Shifty Eyes grabs her by the wrist. Hey, not so fast. His hand starts creeping upward. He grins wide. Your man put it in writing, black and white. Tonight you're coming with us. I see Mia freeze completely. Terror written even deeper across her face now. Something detonates inside me in that instant. Let go of her. My voice drops to ice. Something forged over a decade of clawing my way through the business world. something these thugs have never seen before. I slap Shifty Eyes across the face. He staggers back, blood at the corner of his mouth. He freezes, hand pressed to his cheek. Everyone freezes. Then he snaps out of it. Kill him. He charges at me like a man possessed. His fist swings at me. I sidestep it and drive my foot into his gut. He screams and flies backward. He curls up on the ground, retching. The other three charge in, cursing. I move fast. Wrist locks, elbow throws, knee strikes. Combat skills from my past life. Every move aimed straight at their weak points. Less than a minute later, all four are flattened on the ground. Behind me, I hear Cherry raising her tiny fists, cheering, "Go, Daddy! Beat up the bad guys!" Mia stays silent. I walk over to Shifty Eyes. I plant my foot on his chest. I look down at him. "Listen up. I'm done gambling. The old debt's wiped clean. Come back here again and I'll beat you down every single time, understand?" He's still trying to act tough. "You don't pay your debts, we're calling the cops." I let out a short laugh. "The cops? Organized gambling? Large sums involved? Want me to remind you what crime that counts as? I've got proof right here on my phone. Want me to call it in for you?" Their faces go white instantly. "Sorry, we were wrong, sorry, then get out." I stop them. "Wait." I glance back at Mia. She's still trembling. "Apologize to my wife," I say. Choking down their pride, they bow their heads anyway. "Sorry, ma'am. Now go." I kick Shifty Eyes aside. They scramble away as fast as they can. The world goes quiet. I turn to look at Mia. Tear streaks still mark her face, her body still shaking. Her eyes are full of fear, doubt, and a deep, lasting hurt. It stings like a needle in my chest. I walk over to stand in front of her. Looking into her eyes, I speak slowly, every word heavy with weight. "Mia, the man I used to be, that Jason was scum. What he did to you, dying 10,000 times wouldn't be punishment enough. I'm not asking you to forgive me right now. I'm only asking for one more chance. I swear it on my life. From this day forward, if I, Jason Chen, ever let you or Cherry suffer again, may I die a terrible death." Mia stares at me, tears streaming down in heavy drops. Her lips move and finally, eyes red, she shouts, "Jason Chen, you're a complete bastard. I will never trust you again." With that, she grabs Cherry and rushes inside. The door slams shut, but she doesn't bring up divorce again. For now, that's enough. I let myself into the kitchen. Soon, the smell of sweet and sour fish and braised ribs fills the entire house. I carry the food to the bedroom door. I knock and say, "Dinner's ready. Stop being upset. Don't let the kid go hungry. I'll sleep in the living room." I set down the tray and turn to leave. Through the door, I hear Cherry's small voice, "Mommy, it smells so good." A moment later, I hear the faint clink of bowls and chopsticks. I lie on the hard couch, staring up at the ceiling. The road ahead is long, but the direction has never been clearer. Protect them, and make this family truly whole. A faint creak. The bedroom door eases open just a crack. I close my eyes and pretend to be asleep. A few seconds later, the door gently closes again, but this time, it's left unlocked. The corner of my mouth lifts just slightly. Over the following days, I go with Mia to the stand every single day. $20 a bag, fill it however you want, becomes a fixture of the market. Apples sell steadily, over 1,000 pounds every single day. In under a week, Mia's bank account grows by a full $10,000. At night, though, she often lies awake. By the following days, sales start to slip. I roll out a new strategy, bring in cherries and blueberries. She frowns. "We tried that before, nobody bought them. This time's different." I split the stall into two tiers. Budget tier, $15 a pound, apples and peaches. Premium tier, $25 a pound, choice of cherries or blueberries, all washed, sliced, and boxed up fresh. Add $1 for unlimited yogurt drizzle. Add one more, and we throw in a free pound of apples. The new stand looks clean and sharp, standing out sharply against the cluttered market around it. By the end of the day, revenue tops $3,000. What pleases me even more people buy the premium tier than the budget one. As we pack up, she finally has to ask why. I look at her and smile. Because the pricier option makes them feel like they're getting a better deal. Only $10 more, and they can take home the premium stuff. Who wouldn't want that? Running a business is about playing the psychology. She snorts. "Oh, listen to you." Her tone says one thing, but the corner of her mouth betrays another. By the end of the week, we've made another $10,000 or so. The light in her eyes when she looks at me starts coming back, little by little. One day, picking Cherry up and heading home, I spot a man in a sharp suit standing at the door. It's Mia's older brother, Henry. Mia rushes over, delighted. Henry gives her a brief glance, then turns a stare on me sharp as a blade. "Hey, come walk with me, buy some cigarettes." I know he's got something to say. We reach the parking lot. He points at a BMW. "This car's worth over 200 grand, what do you think?" "It's fine." He pulls out a bank card and slaps it into my hand. "There's 200,000 on this. The car's yours too. Divorce Mia tomorrow. The kid stays with her. The car and the money are yours. You two go your separate ways, clean and final." I shake my head at Henry's words. "Henry, I'm not who I used to be. Old habits don't change." Henry's expression goes cold instantly. "Mia was the jewel of our family. And what kind of life has she had with you? Drinking? Gambling? You think you deserve her? You think this isn't enough money? Name your price then." Anger flares up instantly inside me. I know he's cursing out the man I used to be, but the words still cut deep. "Give me a few more months." He cuts me off. "You're lower than mud. A country hick. Just because you went to college doesn't make you a city man. If my sister hadn't been blind back then, she never would have married you. What are you anyway? People like you just want to climb the ladder, grab some money. Marrying a pretty wife for status, right? You think you're worthy of her? My fist clenches, then slowly relaxes. I came from a farming family. I've embarrassed your family. I get that. I look him dead in the eye and say slowly and clearly, but don't insult me with money. Give me 3 months and I'll earn $1 million. Come talk to me again then. Henry freezes for a moment, then lets out a contemptuous laugh, like he's just heard the joke of the century. I don't bother responding. I turn and walk back home. Mia meets me at the door. Worry fills her eyes. Everything okay? It's fine. Henry was just giving me a pep talk. I lie with a smile. She doesn't believe it, but she lets it go. Henry stays for dinner. At the table, his eyes sweep over the worn-out furniture. He frowns. You're still keeping all this junk? Aren't you embarrassed? I'm about to respond when Mia gently tugs my sleeve under the table. Henry, she says, Jason's really changed. He's come up with so many ideas and we've earned some money. Henry just scoffs and says nothing. At that moment, his phone rings. He picks up. His expression changes instantly. What? Mr. Liu's not happy with our marketing plan? Didn't we agree the draft was final today? The voice on the other end sounds urgent. I can faintly hear it from where I'm sitting. Mr. Liu reviewed the plan and called it outdated. All that exclusive life, a collector's legacy language. He says clients aren't buying that kind of pitch anymore. He's giving Henry 3 hours, then he wants to talk to him personally. If they can't fix it, the entire planning fee gets withheld. And Henry's job is on the line too. Henry hurriedly pulls out his laptop. He starts groveling over the phone with a client who wants the project to highlight high-end positioning without coming across as arrogant. They want cultural depth and a youthful edge at the same time. I catch a few lines of it. I glance at his proposal. The whole approach is wrong. A high-end development doesn't sell houses. It sells exclusivity. It sells access, sells the future. I say nothing, just turn and head back to the kitchen. When I come back out with another dish, Henry's gone. His laptop is still open. His proposal is half finished. He stepped out to take a call. Mia looks anxious. If they lose this deal, he might lose his job entirely. I heard this development is their company's most important project of the year. Cherry suddenly looks up at me. Daddy, are you better than Uncle Henry? Only one way to find out. I smile. I sit down and move the mouse. Without hesitation, I delete Henry's unfinished proposal entirely. Are you insane? Did you even save anything? Saving wouldn't have helped. His whole approach was wrong. I don't bother explaining further. My fingers land on the keyboard, and within moments, I'm completely absorbed. A brand new proposal takes shape under my hands. An exclusive community operating model, a resource integration framework, a membership identity system. Piece by piece, it all comes together. By the time Henry returns, he sees me sitting at his computer. He explodes instantly. Who said you could touch my laptop? He just wanted to help, Mia explains hurriedly. What the hell does he know about real estate marketing? Henry storms over, ready to lay into me, and then he freezes mid-step. On the screen sits a complete, polished marketing proposal. A second later, his eyes flash red. Where's my original draft? Deleted. His whole body shakes with anger. Do you have any idea how many sleepless nights that took? Right then, his phone rings. The deadline has arrived. He stares at the nearly finished proposal on screen, and his expression shifts. Gritting his teeth, he finally clicks send. Then he glares at me. If this deal falls through, you and I are not done. I lift my water glass and take a sip. Less than 10 minutes later, his phone rings again. He answers, listens for a moment, and the corner of his mouth tightens. After he hangs up, he shoots me a look loaded with conflicting emotions. He grabs his laptop and heads for the door. I'm going to the office. We'll settle this when I get back. I give a faint smile. I already know exactly what he's about to walk into. What's in that proposal is far beyond what a planner at his level could ever explain on his own. Sure enough, my phone rings not long after. It's Henry. His voice on the other end sounds awkward. Jason, can you come to my office right now? Mr. Liu insists on meeting whoever wrote this in person. Send me your address. I'll come pick you up myself. On the drive to the office, Henry drives fast, tense silence filling the car. Neither of us speaks. At a red light, his jaw tightens, and he finally forces out, when we see Mr. Liu, keep your mouth shut. I'll handle it. I glance at him. And keep making things up until you get caught on the spot? His face flushes, and he shuts up. We step into the meeting room. A well-dressed middle-aged man rises and points at the projection. Mr. Chen, this exclusive community concept is impressive. How would it actually work? I walk up to the screen and have the assistant flip to the operations page. What I've designed is an identity verification system. First, every owner must pass review by the residence committee. Having money alone isn't enough. They need to bring value to the community, resources, connections, expertise, or influence. Second, I recommend setting aside 30% of the units as flexible memberships. Invite top entrepreneurs, artists, and scholars for short-term residencies. It gives the whole community its own built-in prestige. Third, host monthly exclusive salons. Invite only the top names in their respective fields. Non-residents can't even buy a ticket in. Mr. Liu's eyes light up. You're turning real estate from a product into membership status. He asks a few more questions and I answer every one without hesitation. The senior planners in the room nod along, impressed. Mr. Liu stands. Excellent. His eyes burn with intensity as he looks at me. I have an open marketing director position. 500,000 a year. Are you in? 500,000. I feel Henry's breath catch beside me. I smile and shake my head. I need to help my wife run her fruit stand. Taking a job isn't something I'm considering right now. Mr. Liu pauses, surprised. I continue. There's something else I'm not sure I should bring up. Go ahead. Your pricing on this development is too conservative. The air in the room tightens. Instantly. Henry grabs my sleeve in warning. Mr. Liu narrows his eyes. What exactly do you mean by that, Mr. Chen? Given current market conditions, our pricing is already the highest in the area. If I'm not mistaken, you're planning a launch price around 8,500 per square meter, correct? I pause. I'd suggest pushing it past 12,000. A wave of sharp intakes of breath ripples through the room. Some people are already shaking their heads. Mr. Liu's voice turns grave. Mr. Chen, you may not fully understand this market. In this district, anything past 9,000 becomes hard to sell. Here's the situation. I walk to the window and point at the empty lot east of the development. First, last week's Planning Commission meeting minutes mentioned expanding rail transit density in the Eastern New District. Second, the new mayor, in a construction sector forum last month, emphasized cutting commute times between new development zones and the city center. Third, the Planning Bureau's website recently updated the land use map for the Eastern District. The plot east of your project changed classification from reserved land to transit infrastructure land. The room falls silent. Every eye in the room is fixed on me. Connecting all of this together, and factoring in the new mayor's career history, when he served in the South District before, the first major project he pushed through was a subway extension. I believe a new transit extension plan will be announced within 6 months, with a station most likely landing right east of your project. Mr. Liu jumps to his feet. How confident are you in this? 70%, I say calmly. But even at 50%, it's a bet worth taking. Because once the news goes public, property values will jump over 30% immediately. Pricing at 12,000 now looks steep, but compared to its real value 6 months from now, it's still a bargain. I look directly at Mr. Liu. More importantly, once the transit news breaks, a flood of budget developments will hit the surrounding market. If you're still holding at 8,500, you completely lose the positioning advantage of a premium development. Wealthy buyers don't want to be neighbors with subway commuters. Total silence fills the room. Mr. Liu stares at me for a full minute, then dials a number. Secretary Wang, get me Director Li at the Planning Bureau. Find out quietly what's happening with the Eastern District's transit plans. The 10 minutes that follow feel like 10 years. The phone rings. Mr. Liu answers it. As he listens, his expression grows heavier by the second. Finally, he just says, confirmed? All right, understood. He hangs up and turns to me. Come work for my company as Vice President of Marketing. $1 million a year. Are you in? $1 million a year. I see Henry's face flush deep red, his entire body frozen in place. I shake my head again. I'm not interested in working for someone else. I want to spend more time with my family. Mr. Liu studies me for a long moment, then gives a wry smile. To each their own. But I'd still like to bring you on as a consultant for this project. Name your fee. I look over at Henry. Honestly, Henry's fundamentals are solid, and he's already absorbed the strategy completely. You should work directly with him going forward. Henry freezes, English, and finally nods. All right, I'll leave this project in both your hands. We walk out of the office. Henry still looks like he's in a daze. He suddenly asks, you really turned down $1 million salary? And that subway prediction, was that really all your own analysis? The fruit stand needs me, I say. He falls silent for a few seconds. His voice trembles slightly. Do you have any idea what $1 million even means? I worked for 8 years just to reach half that amount. This deal closing makes you the hero of your company. I pat him on the shoulder. Things will open up for you from here. I get in the car and drive off. In the rearview mirror, he stands frozen, watching me go for a long, long time. At dinner, Henry shows up again. I raise my cup first. Tea instead of liquor. Henry, for everything I put you through in the past, I owe you a real apology. Mia freezes, chopsticks stopped mid-air. I know exactly what she's thinking. The old Jason never did anything but cause trouble, let alone apologize. Henry shifts uncomfortably and looks away. Mia glances between us, then suddenly speaks up. Henry, did you say something to him again? I just smile. He was simply reminding me to push myself harder. Mia sets down her chopsticks. She looks at Henry dead serious. Henry, I chose this man. This is my road to walk. Whatever bitter fruit comes from it, I'll swallow it myself. If you really care about me, stop saying things that put me in a hard spot. Under the lamplight, there's a stubborn, unwavering resolve in her eyes. Henry lifts his cup and drains it in one go. He sighs, says nothing more, finishes his meal quickly and leaves. After seeing him off, I turn around and find Mia watching me. You're different today. Different how? Hard to say, she tilts her head. It just feels like a long nightmare has finally ended. Late into the night, I lay out my usual spot on the living room couch. Mia comes out of the bedroom carrying a blanket. She stops at the doorway and glances back at me. Getting used to that couch, are you? She presses her lips into a small smile, then turns and goes back inside. The door is left unlocked. The next morning, Mia takes Cherry to check out a new preschool. I stay home, going over our finances, planning the next move. At noon, my phone rings suddenly. It's Mia, her voice cracking with tears, loud noise in the background. Jason, get to City People's Hospital now! Cherry suddenly couldn't breathe. She's in the emergency room! My mind goes blank with shock. I drop everything and rush out the door. At the hospital, the HSU family has already arrived. The moment Richard, Mia's father, sees me, he storms over, furious. Jason Chen, look what you let happen to this child. The doctor says this condition should have been caught long ago. A nurse rushes to intervene. Family members, please keep your voices down. Linda, Mia's mother, walks over, her eyes red, her voice shakes. The doctor says it's idiopathic pulmonary hypertension, a rare condition. What we're using now only keeps her stable temporarily. She needs a specialized targeted medication, imported, costing over $30,000 a month, and she'll need it long term. My heart clenches like a fist closing around it. Pulmonary hypertension. How could this happen? Mia collapses into my arms, sobbing, her whole body shaking. The doctor said she might have had this for a while already. The symptoms weren't obvious. It's my fault for not noticing. She'd say she was tired sometimes, and I thought it was just from playing too hard. What good does saying this do now? Richard's voice turns icy. Treatment needs money. $30,000 a month for the medication. Can you two even afford that? Linda looks at her daughter. Honey, listen to your mother. Get a divorce. If you divorce him, the HSU family will cover all of Cherry's medical costs. Mia's head snaps up. Mom, what are you saying? Do you want to keep suffering with him? Look at what state your daughter is in right now. Linda is crying too now. This medication can't be stopped. If it stops, her condition will worsen rapidly. Mia stares at the closed door of the emergency room. Tears keep streaming down her face, but she wipes them away fiercely and straightens her back. Mom, I already told you. I chose this man. This is my road. However hard it gets, we'll carry it ourselves. Can you really carry it? Richard's voice rises with anger. $30,000 a month, and we don't even know how long she'll need it. I step in front of Mia, shielding her. I look Richard straight in the eye. We'll figure out the money ourselves. You don't need to worry about it. Figure it out? What exactly can you figure out? Henry can't help himself. You turned down that $1 million a year job with Mr. Liu, and now? I cut him off. I have my own way. Cherry is our daughter. We'll see this through no matter what. Richard stares at me for a long moment, then lets out a cold laugh. Fine. If you've got that much backbone, then carry it yourselves. Let's go. The HSU family leaves. Mia leans against my shoulder, quietly sobbing, her shoulders shaking without pause. Don't be afraid. I rub her back gently. I'm here. She lifts her tear-filled eyes. But the medication's $30,000 a month. Money isn't the issue. I look out the window. You focus on taking care of Cherry. Leave the rest to me. Standing at the payment window, I look at the bank card in my hand. Every dollar earned from early mornings and long hours, saved cent by cent. But I know it's nowhere near enough to cure my daughter. In my past life, I built a $100 billion empire from absolutely nothing. This time for this family, I have to get enough money, right now. Standing in the hospital hallway, I scour my memory desperately for anything that could earn fast money. Futures trading, too slow. Antiques, too murky a market. Stone gambling, needs connections I don't have. Then, an extremely obscure memory suddenly snaps into focus. An underground betting site once had a glitch in its virtual horse racing section involving prize prepayment. Someone exploited it once, draining over $2 million in 3 days. The site only discovered the anomaly during account reconciliation. The mechanics behind the glitch aren't complicated, but it requires precise, split-second timing. To encourage more betting, this site displays projected winnings during the final 30 seconds of each virtual race. Based on live odds, this system shows potential winnings as available balance before the race even ends. The key window is those final 30 seconds. If a user takes that phantom balance and places it on a bet in another race about to close, the system somehow lets the bet go through. Done correctly, a small amount of real money can leverage dozens of times that amount in phantom funds across a chain of bets. Once every race settles, as long as the final bet wins, the profit becomes completely real. Put simply, it's like betting $100 at a casino, and the dealer, seeing you're about to win, pushes $1,000 in chips toward you early, saying, "This might be yours." You immediately take those chips to another table, place a bet, and win there too. In the end, the casino has no choice but to honor it, and I know the exact trigger window for this glitch, along with how to avoid tripping the risk control systems. Even more importantly, at this point in time, no one else knows the glitch exists yet. I glance at the clock in the hospital hallway. 2:20 in the afternoon. I turn and walk quickly out of the inpatient building. There's a worn-down internet cafe near the hospital, thick with smoke. I take a seat at the computer farthest in the corner. I log into what looks like an ordinary sports news website, but I know the hidden entry point. 3 layers of redirects deep. I finally land on a bare-bones page with simple text and basic animation, Lucky Derby. Each virtual race runs 3 minutes. I take a deep breath. Step 1. Register a new account using a randomly generated username. Step 2. Fund the account. The site supports several, discrete third-party payment channels. I choose a method that splits the funding into small amounts. 5 minutes later, $5,000 in starting capital lands in the account. Balance: 5,000 points. Time: 2:40. The first virtual race begins. I place a $1,000 bet on horse number 3 to win. Odds: 2.5. As the simulated race hits its final 40 seconds, horse 3 surges from 5th place to 2nd. In the bottom right corner, my available balance suddenly jumps. 4,000 becomes 5,500. The system has pre-added the $1,500 in potential winnings from my $1,000 bet. I don't act on it yet. This is just the standard display, not the glitch itself. The race ends. Horse 3 wins by a narrow margin. Real settled profit $1,500. Account balance $6,500. Second race 245. I bet $2,000 on an exacta, picking the top 2 finishers. Odds 3.2. With 30 seconds left, the system once again pre-displays my projected winnings. My balance jumps from 4,500 to 11,400. 4,500 plus 2,000 times 3.2. Here's where it gets critical. With 25 seconds left in the race, I quickly switch over to a different virtual soccer match, one about to close as well. I bet that entire $11,400 balance. I bet on a goal being scored in the final 5 minutes. Odds 1.8. The system processes the bet without flagging it. Confirmed. The glitch is real. The system is treating projected winnings as genuine usable funds. My pulse starts to race. The horse race ends. The exacta hits. Profit $4,400. The soccer match wraps up. 89th minute. A virtual player fires a long-range shot into the net. Profit $20,520. Account balance climbs plus 4,400 plus 20,520, $26,920. Account balance $5,000 has turned into 27,000. But I don't stop. I know this glitch can be exploited repeatedly. As long as I time it precisely within each race's final 30-second window, the phantom capital can snowball exponentially. Even if a bet loses, it's only the phantom money at risk. Third round, fourth round. My hands fly across the keyboard and mouse. My eyes track 3 different countdown windows at once. Every move has to be timed down to the second. At 3:21 in the afternoon, I finish the final round. The screen shows a final balance, $726,800. $726,800. In 1 hour, $5,000 has turned into a return over $100. 7 at the number on screen. My palms are soaked with sweat. I click withdraw. The site flags it. Large withdrawals require manual review. Funds expected within 2 hours. I clear my browsing history, shut down the computer, and get up to leave. Stepping outside the internet cafe, the sunlight hits hard. I shield my eyes with a hand and take a deep breath. 720,000. Even that won't be enough to cover Cherry's treatment in the long run. A real cure will take far more money than this. But I have a feeling someone's about to deliver even more soon. The moment I push open the hospital room door, I hear a nurse's cold voice. Mrs. Chen, system only shows $5,000 on file. The full deposit needs to be settled today. Otherwise, we can't proceed with further testing or medication. Mia is on the verge of tears, panicked. That can't be right. My husband paid $10,000 just an hour ago. Right then, she sees me walk in. Her voice catches in her throat. Where's the money? That $10,000? I only paid $5,000, I say, looking her in the eye. I took the other 5 and bet it on horse racing. Horse racing? Mia's expression shatters instantly. She staggers, like every ounce of strength has just drained from her body. Jason Chen, that was Cherry's life-saving money, and you gambled it away? She lunges at me, fists pounding against my chest. She sobs like her heart is being torn apart. Are you even human? What about your oath? The nurse beside us shakes her head with a sigh. Disgust written plainly across her face. I take hold of Mia's wrist and lower my voice. Listen to me. I won with that $5,000. The payout will hit my account within 2 hours. Cherry's medical bills are taken care of for now. She stops cold, lifts her head, and looks at me with eyes drained of all hope. You're lying again, aren't you? Her finger points at me, trembling violently. You knew how much I hate gambling. You swore you'd never gamble again. I stay silent. Anything I say right now will sound like an excuse. Give me 2 hours. I release her wrist and look toward our pale, sleeping daughter on the bed. I'll be back with the money in 2 hours. With that, I turn and walk out, leaving behind the sound of her stifled, hopeless sobbing. By the time I return with a pot of hot porridge, Mia is slumped over the bedside, looking as if she's fallen asleep, but her trembling shoulders give her away. Cherry is awake. Her small body is hooked up to tubes. When she sees me, she forces out a weak smile. Daddy, I know, Cherry. I know you've been so good. I lean down and gently touch her cheek. Daddy's going to beat this sickness, I promise, and take you to the best amusement park, and we'll eat cotton candy bigger than the clouds. Cherry's eyes light up. I want to stay with Mommy and Daddy forever. Mia raises her head, her eyes bloodshot. She looks at her daughter's pleading face, then back at me, and finally lets out a long, exhausted sigh. She takes the bowl of porridge from me. Go take care of whatever you need to. Her voice is hoarse. I've got her here. I know this is the last bit of room she's willing to give me. I check the time, and by the time I walk out of the room, I don't look back. I leave the hospital, heading for the bank, when a black Mercedes pulls up sharply in front of me. The door opens. 2 expressionless men in black step out. Mr. Chen, Mr. Gu would like a word, in the car. Moves fast, this one. I nod and get in. The interior is spacious. A man in his 40s, dressed in a finely tailored suit, sits across from me. His features aren't intimidating at all. Almost refined. Wesley Gu. In my past life, I crossed paths with him. We even did business together once. Jason Chen. He looks up at me. Impressive. I've had 7 or 8 programmers babysitting that system of mine for 3 years without a single problem, and you walk in and blow a hole right through it on your first try. So tell me, how'd you find it? I leaned back, meeting his gaze head-on. You run a betting operation, Mr. Gu? Afraid of people actually winning? A system glitch is your own problem to deal with. I won that money fair and square. What, planning to stiff me on it? Wesley's eyes narrow slightly. 700,000. I'm not so cheap I can't cover that. He smiles. You can keep the money, but you're not walking away without paying some price. I know he's testing the waters, trying to figure out who I really am. In my past life, I knew him inside and out, but I can't show all my cards right now. I smile back. Fine. I won't take your money for nothing. How about I give you a piece of information instead? Go on. Wesley raises an eyebrow. I'm listening. It's about your father, Mr. Gu Chang'eng. Wesley's fingers freeze around the ring on his hand. Has he been having chest tightness lately, and numbness in his left shoulder and arm? My tone stays calm and level. I'd recommend an urgent coronary CT angiogram. Specifically, the mid-segment of the left anterior descending artery. A routine checkup won't catch non-calcified plaque buildup. Wesley's pupils contract slightly. He studies me for a few seconds, then immediately dials his phone. Director Wang, please arrange an emergency cardiac exam for my father right away. A coronary CT angiogram. Focus on the left anterior descending artery. The car falls into silence. 40 minutes later, his phone rings. Wesley answers. His face changes color instantly. After hanging up, the way he looks at me has completely transformed. Severe blockage in the left anterior descending artery, over 85%. Any later, and there'd have been nothing they could do. Jason Chen, who exactly are you? That's not what matters here. I meet his gaze directly. What matters is my money and my safety. The funds will be released immediately. Wesley fixes his stare on me. On my turf, no one will lay a finger on you. But a man like you wouldn't take a risk this big just for 700,000. There's something you haven't said yet. Sharp man, as expected. There is in fact one more thing I should mention. I look him straight in the eye. It's about a woman you've spent over a decade searching for and never found. And about a child by her side, one you probably don't even know exists. Wesley sits bolt upright. All trace of his refined composure vanishes, replaced by shock. What did you just say? She's living a quiet life in Suzhou, married to a middle school teacher. I lower my voice. She has a daughter, 7 years old, born June 17th. Wesley's face goes ghost white. His fingers tremble faintly. That date, that age. He understands instantly. His voice comes out hoarse. What do you want? $5 million. The information is yours. Wesley turns and gives an order. Strong, transfer the money immediately. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzes. It's a bank deposit confirmation. I send him the detailed information I'd already typed up. Transaction complete. I open the car door. My daughter's in the hospital. She needs absolute peace and quiet, so don't let any trouble find its way to her. Wesley nods firmly. I'll arrange the best resources the hospital has to offer. The car door shuts, and the Mercedes pulls away. I stand outside the hospital entrance. The card now holds far more than enough to cover Cherry's medical expenses. I grip my phone tightly and stride quickly into the hospital. I rush to the room as fast as I can and push the door open, but Mia isn't there. Her father, Richard, sits beside the bed instead. His face is dark with anger. Your own daughter's sick like this, and her father's off running around God knows where. I ignore him. I walk to the bedside, touch Cherry's forehead, and ask quietly, where's her mother? Said she had something to take care of, told me to watch her. Richard scoffs. You two run off faster than each other. Gone for hours now. My heart drops instantly. Mia would never leave Cherry alone for hours, not at a time like this. I dial her number immediately. No answer. Even Richard senses something is wrong. Why isn't she picking up? Just then, a cleaning woman's complaining voice drifts in from the hallway. Those shameless people plastering surrogacy ads in the bathroom again. Imagine making money like that. Surrogacy. A terrifying thought slams into me. Mia wouldn't. No, she wouldn't be that reckless. But in the next second I picture her, red-eyed and stubborn, refusing to back down. She would. She absolutely would. I spin around and bolt out of the room. Richard calls after me. Where are you going? The hospital's still demanding payment. I already paid it, I call back. Just watch Cherry. I sprint toward the women's restroom, ignoring the screams inside, shoving open stall after stall. On the wall of the third one, a crooked flyer reads, Surrogates wanted, high pay, 300,000 up front, with a phone number scrawled beneath it. I dial the number immediately. My voice dropped low and hard. I'm looking for a surrogate, need it urgently. Money is not an issue. The woman on the other end sounds guarded. Sir, you've got the wrong number. Don't play games with me, I say coldly. My wife can't conceive. I want a boy. A few seconds of silence. The woman's tone suddenly turns warm. You're well connected, sir. We can arrange that. However, I cut her off. Price isn't an issue. But I want to choose the woman myself. No one who's done it before. Preferably someone who's never given birth. Young, healthy, good genes. The woman hesitates. We don't have someone matching that right now. You sure about that? I push, raising my voice slightly. There's a beat of surprise on her end. How did you know? I have my sources, I say flatly. Give me the address. I'm coming to see for myself right now. If I'm satisfied, I'll double the price. Double? Her voice changes completely. Are you serious, sir? I glance at my watch. I'm in a hurry. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Keep her there for me. If a contract's already signed and the process has started, the deal's off. No formal contract yet, just an initial check. Come on over, sir. We'll be waiting. I hang up and dash out of the hospital. I flag down a taxi. Driver, hurry, take me here. At the same time, I dial the police and quietly give them the address. I report a suspected illegal surrogacy operation. 20 minutes later, I'm standing in a rundown urban village. I find the old building marked with a domestic services sign and head straight to the 3rd floor. The door cracks open. A middle-aged woman sizes me up. You're the one who called? Where is she? I ask. I push my way inside. The woman smiles. In the restroom. This one's a good match. 28 years old, already had 1 daughter, natural delivery, perfectly healthy, desperate for money, easy to negotiate with. I push open the door, and there's Mia, sitting on a worn-out couch, hands clenched tight around the hem of her shirt. The moment she sees me, her eyes go wide, her whole body frozen. This is her, I say, expression flat as I look her over, like inspecting a piece of merchandise. Stand up, turn around. She rises and there's genuine panic written across her face. What do you think, sir? The woman asks, fawning. Looks and figure both solid, and she's got a college degree too. I walk up to Mia and study her face. Too thin. Can she actually carry a boy? We can't guarantee the sex 100%, but we can do screening, the woman explains hurriedly. I want to guarantee it's a son, I say coldly. I'll pay more. But if it turns out to be a girl, you bear full responsibility. Sir, that's far too much risk for us. I turn and fix my eyes on the woman. Big risk, big payoff. I want her. Name a price. We sign the contract now and I take her with me right now. Now? The woman freezes. Sir, the process usually... I cut her off. I'm expediting it. I pull a bank card from my pocket. Money is not a problem. But I'm taking her right now. The woman's eyes dart around, calculating. Sir, that's against our process. If you take her right away, what if... Then go get someone with actual authority, I say, staring her down. Or are you telling me nobody here can actually make a decision? Her face shifts. Please wait, sir. She steps out of the room and shuts the door behind her. The moment the door closes, Mia rushes over and grabs my arm. Are you insane? We have to get out of here now. We're leaving together. I take her hand firmly. Trust me. Footsteps approach outside the door. The door swings open. The middle-aged woman returns, 2 burly men trailing behind her, along with a middle-aged man in a suit, wireframe glasses perched on his nose. Sir, this is our Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen studies me carefully. I hear you're in a rush to take her with you? That's right. Name your price. 800,000, all-inclusive guaranteed boy. Fine. 500,000 deposit. I'll transfer it now. I'm taking her with me. The balance gets paid once pregnancy is confirmed. Mr. Chen smiles. Sir, that's not how this works. You pay the full amount right now. We'll deliver her wherever you specify. He pushes his glasses up. A dangerous edge creeps into his smile. Otherwise, I doubt you're walking out of here. I narrow my eyes. My money's not that easy to come by. We'll see if you've got what it takes to walk out that door then. Mr. Chen gives a signal. The 2 burly men take a step closer. At that exact moment, the faint wail of sirens rises from below. Mr. Chen's face changes instantly. Did you call the police? Why would I call the police? I let out a cold laugh. Though it looks like your business isn't exactly clean. The sirens grow louder fast. Commotion erupts downstairs. Mr. Chen curses violently. Take him out. Use the back door. The 2 thugs charge in from both sides. I shove Mia hard into the corner and grab a chair, smashing it straight into the man on my left. Crack! The wooden chair shatters across his shoulder. He grunts in pain. His movement falters for a beat, but the man on my right is already swinging a fist toward my temple, fast enough to whistle through the air. I jerk to the side. The punch grazes my cheekbone, leaving a burning sting. Before I can fully regain my footing, a flash of cold steel cuts through the air. He's pulled a switchblade and lunges it straight at Mia. Ah! Mia's scream erupts right beside me. In a split-second flash, I lunge forward, throwing myself between her and the blade. A dull, wet sound. The knife sinks into flesh. Searing pain detonates instantly. My left shoulder goes ice cold, then floods into a burning heat. The man never expected me to throw myself onto the blade. He freezes for a split second, and in that single instant my right hand locks onto his knife-wielding wrist. I slam my forehead straight into the bridge of his nose. Crack! The sound of breaking cartilage mixes with his scream of pain. He releases the knife handle. He staggers backward. Police! Don't move! Everyone on the ground! In that very moment, officers come storming up the stairs. I press my hand over my bleeding left shoulder, still shielding Mia. I raise my right hand. Officers, we're the victims here. Mr. Chen lies on the ground, still struggling, pinned firmly down by the officers who rushed in. A young officer spots the blood soaking my clothes, and immediately shouts into his radio. We've got someone wounded here, need an ambulance. Mia rushes over to me, pressing her trembling hands around the wound, tears streaming down in heavy drops. Her voice breaks apart. You're bleeding, there's so much blood. I lean back against the wall, and force a smile for her. I reach out with my uninjured hand and gently touch her face. It's fine. Just a flesh wound, as long as you're okay. By the time we leave the police station, the sky has gone fully dark. Mia clings tightly to my arm, her fingertips ice cold, trembling faintly. Once we reach a quiet, empty spot, she stops walking and looks up at me. Tear streaks still mark her face. How did you even know I was there? How could you walk in there alone? I reach out and gently wipe away her tears. Because you're my wife. Cherry is our daughter. If the sky comes falling down, I'll be the one standing under it, don't worry. Cherry's hospital bill is already paid. Mia collapses into my arms, sobbing, as if trying to cry out every ounce of fear and pain she's carried. I hold her trembling body close, letting her tears soak through my shirt. The night sky holds no stars, but the darkest hour has already passed. Back at the hospital, a nurse tends to my wound. The knife wound on my left shoulder takes over a dozen stitches to close. The doctor says any deeper, and it would have hit a nerve. Once bandaged, I send Mia back to check on Cherry. She hesitates for a moment. Being away from her daughter this long has left her uneasy. She nods and heads off. I sit alone in a chair in the treatment room, catching my breath. Just as I'm about to get up, my phone buzzes. A bank deposit notification. Wesley has sent another transfer marked as medical support for Cherry. I check the amount. More than enough. As I push open the door to the hospital room, I spot Henry standing at the far end of the hallway, on the phone. He sees me, and his face darkens. He hangs up and walks over, voice low. Jason Chen, where did the $500,000 for the medication deposit come from? Won at horse racing, I say. He stares at me for a few seconds, then lets out a cold laugh. Jason, you've gambled for years and never once brought a single dollar home for this family. And now, the moment your daughter is seriously ill, suddenly you're winning this kind of money? I don't bother responding. I bet you went and borrowed it from some loan shark. Acted all high and mighty turning down that big salary, only to go crawling for a loan behind everyone's back. I'm telling you right now, don't even think about dragging the HSU family into your debts. With that, he turns and walks away. I stand there, watching his back disappear down the hall. Over the following month, Cherry stays in the hospital the entire time. Idiopathic pulmonary hypertension is an extremely rare condition. Domestically, the only option is relying on imported targeted medication to stabilize her. Even so, her condition keeps slipping, little by little. Mia and I take turns keeping watch. She covers the days, and I take the nights. When exhaustion hits, I rest on a hallway chair. When hunger hits, I eat the cheapest box lunch the hospital cafeteria offers. The HSU family never shows up again. I know it weighs on Mia, but she never says a word about it. Sometimes waking up in the middle of the night, I'll find her slumped over the bedside, holding Cherry's small hand, staring blankly into nothing. A month later, the HSU family finally returns. The doctor is in the middle of examining Cherry. Once it's finished, the doctor tells us the current medication can only slow the progression. It can't reverse the condition. Over the long term, the strain on her heart and lungs will only keep growing heavier. Hearing this, Richard's first question is about money. That $500,000's about used up by now, isn't it? Henry's tone is cold. Have you figured out how you're paying this back? Mia says, it's not a loan. Linda cuts in. Not a loan? You think it fell from the sky? Richard points right in my face in front of everyone. Nothing but lies. You're the one who ruined my daughter and granddaughter's lives. I swallow my anger. Dad, keep your voice down. You'll scare the kid. You think you have the right to call me Dad. Just then, the hospital room door swings open. The doctor walks in with a team of specialists. He looks at all of us. There's news. A team of experts from a leading international cardiopulmonary center is launching a cutting-edge combined interventional and gene-targeted treatment program here soon. By reconstructing the pulmonary artery's microcirculation, paired with precise targeted regulation, there's a real chance of reversing this condition at its root. He pauses. Cherry's test results fit the criteria exactly. Mia grabs my hand tightly, her eyes welling up. But the treatment process needs to start immediately. The first installment is $1 million. I turn and walk out of the room. At the end of the hallway, I dial Wendell Gu. Don't worry about the money, he says. I had Professor Robert flown in personally from Zurich. He's already reviewed your daughter's case. He says it's better than expected. The surgical outcome should be excellent. Thank you. I'm the one who owes you thanks. He pauses. Both mother and daughter, they're finally getting their lives back. Mr. Chen, I won't forget what I owe you. I hang up and head to the payment window. By the time I make it back to the hospital room door, I hear Richard's voice inside. See that? The second the money's mentioned, he disappears. Sweetheart, just divorce him and the HSU family will cover everything. Mia's voice is quiet but steady. Dad, Mom, Henry, I appreciate the offer, but we really don't need it. Jason put down another $1 million deposit just the day before yesterday. The room falls silent for a few seconds. A nurse pushes the door open to begin pre-op prep and mentions casually, the child's father just submitted another $1 million, earmarked for follow-up treatment and the imported targeted medication. I stand in the doorway. Richard, Linda, and Henry all freeze in place. Outside the operating room, the red light glows. Mia leans against my shoulder. Her body trembles slightly. I hold her hand. Professor Robert is one of the world's leading authorities on pulmonary hypertension. He's handled 27 cases like this one. Every single one was a success. Henry walks over, his face dark. Jason, exactly how much did you borrow from Mr. Liu? I look up at him. My business isn't something you need to worry about. $2 million. Even if the HSU family sold our house, we couldn't cover that. He turns to Mia. Sis, tell me the truth. Mia opens her mouth to speak, but Richard barges in first, striding over. He jabs a finger at me. You're asking him? All he knows how to do is lie and gamble. He turns to Mia. Sweetheart, your father has $1 million in savings right now. Just say yes to a divorce and I'll wire it to you immediately. But tomorrow morning I'm putting that money into a reverse mortgage retirement plan run by Director Zhou. Linda chimes in to explain. The annual return is at least 30%. It's an insider opportunity through the Retired Officials Network. The contract runs 10 years. After that, you get the house back exactly as it was, plus the returns on the capital. Director Joe says it's a national pilot program with only a few slots left. We figured we'd let this money grow and it'd go to you two eventually anyway. I look at Richard. Dad, this model you're describing, it involves mortgaging the property to a third-party company in exchange for retirement payments, correct? Richard pauses, then sneers. A senior retired official is personally vouching for it. It's a legitimate company, and we had a lawyer review the contract. What would you even know about this? This is a scam scheme that's emerged over the past couple of years. These so-called professional companies are usually empty shells registered with only a few $1,000s in capital. They do pay out the retirement money on time for a few months. By the time you realize what's happening, both the house and the money are gone. This Director Joe is either being scammed himself or... I leave the sentence unfinished. You're talking nonsense. Richard explodes. A lifetime of connections and relationships, and you, a gambler, think you can lecture us? It's a contract in black and white. You think the government wouldn't step in? I think you're just jealous. Mia suddenly stands up, her voice shakes. Dad, take your project and go. I don't want your money. Whether Cherry lives or dies, I'll carry that myself. Richard's face turns ashen. He points at his daughter, unable to speak for a long moment. Finally, he yanks his hand away in disgust. Fine. Don't you regret this? Linda sighs, eyes red. Henry looks like he wants to say something but doesn't. The whole family turns and leaves. Silence falls suddenly outside the operating room. Mia sinks onto the bench, tears sliding down silently. I gently wrap my arm around her shoulders. 4 hours later, the surgery light switches off. The lead surgeon walks out. A smile crosses his face. The surgery went extremely well. She'll need 48 hours of observation in the ICU, but the prognosis looks very promising. Mia's knees buckle. I catch her just in time. She covers her face, tears streaming through her fingers, but this time, they're tears of joy. 2 months later, Cherry meets the criteria for discharge. Her color has returned, healthy and rosy. She still needs regular medication and checkups, but she's back to bouncing around full of energy. To celebrate her new lease on life, we book a table at a newly opened upscale steakhouse. While she was in the hospital, I promised her, once she got better, I'd take her for the best steak in town. The steakhouse is elegant and refined. Cherry kicks her little legs excitedly in her seat as Mia tucks a napkin into her collar. The dishes arrive, and just as I'm about to cut into my steak, a well-dressed young man passes by in the aisle. He glances over casually, and his eyes land on Mia. He stops short. Mia! Surprise flickers across his face, quickly shifting into a smug, knowing smile. He steps closer, his eyes sweeping over me and Cherry, lingering a beat longer on Cherry before settling back on Mia's face. I heard you got married. So who's this? Mia's fingers tighten slightly. This man's name is Felix Ju, the man Mia's parents once tried hard to set her up with. Seeing him, Mia's body visibly stiffens. Her voice sounds strained. Felix, what a surprise. Felix turns to me, looking me up and down. The assessment in his gaze unmistakable. He extends his hand. Mr. Chen, I presume? Pleasure to meet you. Is this your daughter? She's gotten so big. I stand up. I shake his hand. He deliberately squeezes harder. I don't react. Just watch him calmly. Since fate's brought us together, you don't mind if we join you, do you? Felix says smoothly, then turns to introduce a perfectly made-up woman standing behind him. Wei Ping. He lands a little hard on the words, old friend, and girlfriend, as he speaks. Wei Ping's eyes flick quickly over Mia, settling finally on her clothes. A flicker of superiority crosses her face. She puts on a smile. Mia, is it? What a coincidence. Let's sit together. Under the table, Mia quietly grips my hand. I squeeze it back and give Wei Ping a polite smile. Mia is fine. No need for the title. You actually look a fair bit older than my wife. Wei Ping's expression freezes. Felix orders a few pricey dishes, then turns to me. So, Mr. Chen, what line of work are you in these days? This one's on me. I run a small business, I say, even-toned. A small business is nothing to be ashamed of. Freedom's worth a lot. He turns to the waiter. Bring us a bottle of Montrachet, the 2015 vintage. He rattles off the wine name fluently, then looks back at Mia. I remember you never used to drink much, but their white wine pairs beautifully with seafood here. You should try a little. Wei Ping chimes in immediately. Oh, definitely. Felix is so particular about food and wine. This must be expensive, isn't it? She poses the question to Felix, but her eyes flick toward Mia. Felix waves it off, feigning nonchalance. It's fine. Just something that pairs well with today's meal. The wine arrives quickly. Following protocol, the waiter pours a small amount into Felix's glass for him to taste. Felix swirls it, sniffs, takes a small sip, savors it for a moment, then nods. It's fine. The whole performance is deliberately theatrical. As the waiter moves to pour for everyone else, I lift a hand and stop him gently. I pick up the glass in front of Mia. Could you swap this glass out, please? It hasn't been chilled long enough. It'll dull the Montrachet's fruit notes and mineral character, especially given how delicate this wine's body is. The waiter looks startled, apologizes quickly, and swaps the glass. I take the new glass and inspect it carefully, then nod that it's fine to pour. The composure starts slipping off Felix's face. Mia stares at me in surprise, then carefully lifts the glass for a small sip. Felix clears his throat. Mr. Chen seems quite particular about glassware, though the real character of Montrachet actually comes from balancing the elegance of Pouligny against the richness of Chassagne. I smile faintly. The vintage is decent enough, but if we're really pairing for today's seafood, the neighboring estate's Court and Charlemagne, the 2014, might actually complement the structure better. Felix's expression stiffens slightly. His face darkens, and he steers the conversation elsewhere. Mia, I started a landscaping company a couple of years back, handle the grounds for major real estate developments. It's hard work, sure, but the income's solid. He holds up 2 fingers and waggles them. Wei Ping jumps right in. Felix is being way too modest. It's over 2 million a year. You know Xingrong Group, right? We've handled the landscaping for several of their high-end developments. She turns to Mia with feigned concern. If you two are ever looking to buy a place, just ask Felix. He's tight with a lot of developers. He could definitely get you the rock-bottom insider price. I see Mia's lips pressed tight. Felix looks at her and waves a hand, putting on an air of generosity. Wei Ping, don't say it like that. Mia, you really are due for an upgrade from that old place. Anytime you need it, just say the word. I can get you the insider price. Easily over 100,000 cheaper than market. Mia's fingers twist together under the table. I gently lay my hand over hers. Message received. No need. If we want a discounted property, I've got my own connections. Felix looks utterly unconvinced. This isn't the time to be stubborn. I heard money's been tight for you two. Saving over 100,000 is real money. Why throw away an opportunity for the sake of pride? Wei Ping immediately backs him up. Exactly. Felix is close with the developers. It's nothing for him, just a word. Think how much better that saved money could go toward supplements for your daughter. Where you're living now is honestly so run down. We're just genuinely thinking of you two. Her gaze sweeps over Mia's clothes. Mia's face flushes red. She opens her mouth to respond, but I gently press her hand under the table to stop her. I take a sip of water, anger building inside me. Today is meant to celebrate our daughter getting a new lease on life, not to sit through this little duet of theirs. Just as I'm about to send them off, a voice tinged with surprise calls out from behind us. Mr. Chen? We both turn to look, and see Mr. Lu Xingrong striding over from the private room area. A genuine smile lights up his face. I'm a little caught off guard. I'd seen a photo of him with the owner on the wall of fame on the way in, never expecting to actually run into him. Chairman Lu! Felix springs to his feet like he's spring-loaded, knocking his chair over with a loud clatter. His face floods with obsequiousness. He bends at the waist, offering both hands. Chairman Lu, what a coincidence. I'm Felix Zhu from Fengjing Landscaping. I toasted you at your company's appreciation banquet last year. Do you remember me? As he speaks, he shoots a smug glance our way. Mr. Lu's brow furrows slightly. Clearly, he has no idea who this man is. But his gaze quickly slides past Felix and lands on me instead. Out of courtesy, Mr. Lu still extends a hand to shake Felix's, his tone flat. Oh, hello. That single light handshake hits Felix like a shot of liquor. His cheeks flush with pride. His spine straightens. But Mr. Lu pulls his hand back almost instantly, turning toward me, striding right past the frozen Felix, hand extended. Mr. Chen, what a coincidence. I've been wanting to reach out since last time, but I didn't want to intrude while you were caring for your family. Running into you today must be fate. I stand and shake his hand. Mr. Lu, it's been a while. Beside us, I see Felix's eyes go wide, his whole body frozen like he's been struck by lightning. The obsequious smile hasn't even left his face yet, now mixed with pure shock. The expression is almost comical. Wei Ping doesn't recognize Mr. Lu. All she sees is her boyfriend being brushed aside while I, the fruit vendor, am chatting easily with this clearly important man. She purses her lips. Her voice carries just enough to be heard. Oh my, since when do fruit vendors get to chat real estate? How novel. The moment those words leave her mouth, the room temperature drops instantly. Mr. Lu's smile vanishes. His sharp gaze sweeps toward Wei Ping, then back to me, a question in his eyes. I release his hand, my tone calm. Oh, they're old acquaintances of my wife's. We ran into each other by chance, very eager to help apparently once they heard we might be buying a home. Insisted on offering us the insider discount on your developments. Mr. Lu is sharp. He catches the meaning instantly. A smile returns to his face, but smoother now, with a cold edge underneath. Oh, come now, listen to you, he says loudly, patting my arm. With our kind of relationship, you buying one of my properties and we're talking about a discount? His gaze shifts to the stunned Felix and Wei Ping. His smile stays fixed, but his tone turns casually condescending. Little brother, sis-in-law, and the little one. He glances fondly at Cherry. Whichever development, whichever unit you two have your eye on, just tell me directly. He waves his hand decisively. I'll gift you a unit. The words land like thunder. I watch every trace of color drain from Felix's face, his eyes practically bulging out of his head. His mouth hangs open, his body swaying slightly. Wei Ping is utterly lost. She looks at Mr. Lu, then at me, then at her boyfriend, who looks like his soul has left his body, mouth open with nothing coming out. As Mr. Lu leads us into the private room, the 3 executives inside are visibly startled. He's in high spirits. Let me make introductions. Mr. Jason Chen, my lucky charm. The 3 executives stand and nod, though confusion is plain on their faces. His lucky charm? So young, with a wife and child in tow? Mr. Lu pours my tea himself. Little brother, thanks to your tip last time, we raised the price following your strategy, and profits jumped 30%. The board just decided to commit fully to that area for the next 2 years. I set down my cup, calm. Mr. Lu, the subway extension is confirmed, but Ninghai's focus for the next 5 years isn't going to be the east. What? All three of them speak at once. Director Wang, the marketing head, frowns. Mr. Chen, what do you mean by that? We did extensive research. That area has plenty of land reserves. Plus the subway boost, it's absolutely undervalued. Director Zhou from investments adds, and the municipal government's work report explicitly mentioned expanding the city framework eastward. The policy direction is clear. Vice President Zhang stays silent, but doubt is plain in his eyes. Mr. Lu leans forward, waiting for me to continue. I meet his gaze. Everything you've said makes sense, but you're missing one decisive variable: anti-corruption enforcement. The room goes instantly silent. The new mayor was transferred in from the South District of a neighboring city. That district went through a major political shakeup just last year. If his first move here isn't aimed at cleaning up governance, how does he establish his authority? I tap my finger lightly on the table. Eastward expansion involves too much land transfer, relocation compensation, and construction bidding. It's far too murky. He won't touch it during this sensitive period. I speak with certainty. Instead, he'll choose the direction with the least resistance and the fastest visible results. I point southwest. Old city renovation, riverside expansion. Property rights there are messy enough that no one dares to overreach. There's existing infrastructure, river views as a resource, a slight policy tilt, and the value jumps immediately. As for the east, I shake my head. Right now it's a pressure cooker. Whoever jumps in risks getting trapped under the lid when the anti-corruption crackdown hits. Frozen solid for 3 to 5 years easy. Silence falls the instant I finish speaking. I watch the three executives' expressions freeze on their faces. Mr. Lu's hand stops mid-air, teacup still raised, his expression shifting from shock to sudden understanding. He suddenly recalls an offhand comment some official made at a dinner a few days back, about upgrading old districts being a possible direction too. I turn and meet Mia's gaze, her eyes wide, staring at me, full of astonishment. Politics and economics, Mr. Lu mutters, repeating it to himself. Suddenly he sets his cup down hard and rises to his feet. He walks around the table, picks up the teapot, and personally refills my cup. Considering only economics and ignoring politics, that's the move of a fool. Little brother Chen, you've just taught us a crucial lesson today. I watch the three executives suck in a sharp breath. They've never seen Mr. Lu act this humble toward anyone. I smile. Mr. Lu, you flatter me. Just thinking out loud. Don't hold it against me if I'm wrong. Thinking out loud. Mr. Lu shakes his head. Every word was worth a fortune. No, fortune doesn't even cover it. That kind of insight is worth billions. Mr. Lu sits back down, eyes gleaming. Little brother, you've done me too big a favor for me to take for free. What I said out there still stands. Whatever property you want, I'm gifting it to you. Under the table, Mia grips my hand tightly. I shake my head. No need to gift it, I'll buy it. Buy it? Which one do you want? Take your pick, I'll give you the absolute lowest price. I smile. No. What I actually want is a stall at the Wanjiahui wholesale market in the southeast district, plus a small unit nearby in the warm home complex. 800 or 900 square feet is plenty. I watch everyone in the room freeze. The southeast district, that's just leftover, low-priority land the company developed as an afterthought. Low-end, barely profitable at all. Little brother, you're joking, right? Mr. Lu frowns. That area is way too out of the way. Let me give you a riverside flat in Gold Coast instead. I shake my head again. I'm in the fruit business. The wholesale market suits me, and having the apartment right next to it makes daily life easy. Mr. Lu stares at me for a few seconds, then suddenly breaks into a smile, a mix of resignation and genuine admiration in it. Fine. If you insist on buying, I won't stop you. He slaps the table. Here's the deal. Pick whichever stall you want, at cost price, 100,000. 1 cent more than that and we're not friends. 100,000. That's basically giving it away. I raise my cup. Deal. Thank you, Mr. Lu. Our teacups clink together gently. I can feel Mia's eyes fixed on my face the entire time. She glances at me, then at the three executives, still struggling to process everything. Her lips part like she wants to say something, but in the end, she says nothing at all. We set things up with Mr. Lu to check out the shop the next day, then head home. Mia swings by the fruit stand first. Since the plan is to upgrade from a small stall to a full wholesale supermarket in the main market, the odds and ends at the stand need to be cleared out in advance. I carry Cherry and head home ahead of her. We've barely stepped into the building when Mrs. Huang stops us, her grandson in tow. Well, look who it is, little Cherry. Last time you were fighting with Xiao Bao, what did his grandma tell you? Children need to behave. If you don't listen, you'll get sick. You hear me? At those words, anger flares straight to my head. I know better than anyone whether my daughter behaves. She got sick because she's naughty and doesn't listen. That's nonsense. I look down at Cherry. She shinks back slightly. I speak clearly. Cherry, from now on, if anyone outside makes you feel bad, you come and tell Daddy. Daddy protects you. I turn to leave. Hey, hold on. She hurries after me. I heard Cherry's illness cost a fortune. Are you selling the apartment? I stop. Who told you that? Word gets around. If you really are selling, I'll buy it. We're old neighbors. Don't price it too high. As she talks, she reaches into her grandson's grubby pocket, pulls out a piece of candy and tries to push it toward Cherry's mouth. Here, have some candy. I snap my hand out, grab her wrist and take the candy, toss it aside. The apartment's not for sale. Stop listening to nonsense. We turn and head upstairs. Behind us, her curses follow. Pfft. Wasteful fool, who do you think you are? You deserve to stay broke. When Mia gets back and hears it was Mrs. Huang, her face darkens. She's always been the biggest gossip in this building. Don't bother with her. We don't give it another thought. What we don't know is that one loose tongue can stir up a storm. The following evening, I'm playing with Cherry. When Mia's phone rings, she picks up, listens for a few seconds, and her expression shifts. Mom, what? Selling the apartment? That's not happening. Mom. The call drops. She looks at me, brow furrowed tight. My mom says Mrs. Huang ran into them at the supermarket. Told them we're planning to sell. My dad's furious. I'm about to respond when my phone rings, Mr. Lu's secretary confirming tomorrow's time to view the shop. I hang up. I see Mia watching me, wanting to say something but holding back. What's wrong? Nothing. She shakes her head, then adds, my dad digs his heels in once he makes up his mind. If he believes Mrs. Huang, he'll do something. I take her hand. Once we sort out the paperwork tomorrow, everything will be clear. She nods. But the worry between her brows doesn't fade. What I don't know is that, at this very moment, Richard is tearing through the house looking for the property deed. He finds it. He grips that red booklet, his eyes hardening with resolve. So he wants to get his hands on this apartment? Fine, let him try. Linda stands beside him, eyes red. Are you sure about this? What if our daughter... Richard cuts her off. She's lost her mind over that man. Once Jason sets his sights on this apartment, mother and daughter will have nowhere to go. He tucks the deed into his chest pocket. He grits his teeth. I'm doing it tomorrow. I'll sign it into the reverse mortgage program. Once the paperwork goes through, this place has nothing to do with them. Unless Jason gets out and Mia agrees to the divorce, they are not setting foot in this apartment. Linda opens her mouth, but says nothing. Outside, the night hangs heavy. The lights in the building go out one by one. At breakfast, Mia seems genuinely happy. I can feel how excited she is for today. Cherry kicks her little legs and asks, Mommy, are we getting a big fruit shop? That's right, Mia says brightly. Cherry can have whatever fruit she wants. Yay! The smell of warm porridge and fried eggs fills the kitchen. Simple and peaceful, but it doesn't last long. Bang, bang, bang. Heavy, urgent knocking. Mia goes to answer it. Richard and Linda are standing outside, both pale with anger. Dad, Mom, what are you doing here? What, did we interrupt your little plan to sell the apartment? Richard steps right inside, eyes locking straight onto me. Selling the apartment? Mia freezes. Linda points at me, eyes red. Jason Chen, can't pay your debts, so now you're eyeing our apartment? Have you no shame? I set down my chopsticks. Dad, Mom, you've got it wrong. I don't owe anyone money. And we're not selling the apartment. Shut up! Richard cuts me off sharply. Is there a single honest word in your mouth? He turns to Mia, voice rising. This marriage ends now, right now. He's $2 million in debt. About to sell the roof over your head and you won't divorce him? You want to take Cherry to live on the streets? Mia's voice goes urgent. Dad, Mom, you have it completely wrong. None of that is true. Who's been feeding you this nonsense? Do we need anyone to tell us? The whole neighborhood's talking. Linda's tears spill over. Sweetheart, your mother's heart is breaking for you. Just leave him. Come back to us. We'll keep the apartment for you, and we'll handle Cherry's medication. I'm not leaving him. Mia's voice has an edge to it. We know perfectly well how we're living. We don't need you making decisions for us. What do you know? Richard roars. You've lost your mind. I want a straight answer today. His eyes bore into hers, each word deliberate. Are you divorcing him or not? Mia bites her lip. No. Fine. His chest heaves. Then I'm taking back the apartment. Whatever happens to you from here, it's none of the HSU family's concern. Consider yourself no daughter of mine. Those last words hit Mia like a spike through the chest. Her body sways, her face goes pale. Tears rise to her eyes, but she refuses to let them fall. She stares at her father's twisted expression, at her mother crying and unable to meet her eyes. Then she wipes her eyes. Her voice trembles. But it's clear. We are not getting divorced. If you want to cut ties, that's your choice. As for the apartment, we don't want it. We're moving out today. Richard's eyes go wide, like he's seeing his daughter for the very first time. Fine. Good for you. He shakes with anger. I'm coming for the apartment tomorrow. He grabs Linda's arm and turns to leave. Linda stumbles behind him. How did you become like this? Your father just wants what's best for you. Mia calls out after her. He's the one who said he'd cut ties. He's the one who said he'd take the apartment back. I simply agreed. Isn't that being obedient? Linda chokes on her words, face falling. You've let that man bewitch you. You've thrown your own parents away. I might as well never have had a daughter. The door slams shut. A few seconds pass, then Mia collapses into my arms. And all the crying she'd been holding back pours out. How could they say that? She shakes all over. I hold her tight, gently rubbing her back. Cherry hugs Mia's legs, crying quietly. Mommy, don't cry. When Mia finally calms down, I wipe her tears and look into her red eyes, then take in the cramped, worn-out room around us. We can't keep living like this anyway. It's time we had a real home of our own. But... She looks up at me. Don't worry about the money. I hold her hand. Come on, let's go see the shop. She nods. She goes to the bedroom and pulls out a light blue dress. I recognize it as the nicest thing she bought after we got married, rarely worn. Watching her hold it up against herself, something pinches in my chest. There's still over 3 million in the account. It's time to buy something decent for her and Cherry. Mia changes into the dress and gives me a small smile. Let's go. Off to see our big future. We head downstairs and reach the street when a black Mercedes honks twice nearby. We turn. The window rolls down, and Mr. Lu's grinning face appears. Little brother, sis-in-law, hop in. I'm caught off guard for a moment, then laugh. This guy, Mr. Lu, no driver with him. He drove over himself. The car heads toward the southeast district. On the way, Mr. Lu chats casually. Little brother, Wanjiahui was originally built just to offload some leftover land. Awkward location, not new city, not old city. He turns onto a somewhat rundown road. This area is a resettlement zone from old demolition projects. A lot of people displaced from the old city got relocated here. The roads are wide and the buildings are new, but the infrastructure hasn't caught up. No subway line either. I look out the window. But once people move somewhere, they need to live. The demand builds itself. I know exactly what this place is. Because of the resettlement population, it's going to become one of Ninghai's most economically vibrant, busiest hidden centers over the next few years. Wanjiahui, as the earliest and largest wholesale market in the area, is going to become a massive magnet. Right now, the stalls here barely register. But soon, not one will be available. We're not talking about supporting 3 generations. This place will more than support the 3 of us for the rest of our lives. The car stops outside the market. Mia looks at the wide-open, nearly empty parking lot in the quiet entrance and murmurs with a small frown. Jason, are you sure about this place? Mr. Lu speaks sincerely. Little brother, I've got a few spots on Binjiang Road Pedestrian Street. Great locations. Let me set you up with one. I shake my head. The vibe on Binjiang Road doesn't match what we do. This is the one. Don't let the quiet fool you. This place is going to blow up. Mr. Lu keeps his smile, but his eyes carry a question. I add casually. Mr. Lu, don't be in a hurry to sell off your stake in Wanjiahui. If any small shareholders want to cash out, buy their shares. In the Southeast District, Wanjiahui is going to be the one property that lays golden eggs, worth every inch. Mr. Lu's expression sharpens. Little brother, are you serious? I meet his gaze. Whether you believe it is up to you. Mr. Lu goes quiet, looking around at the empty surroundings, lost in thought. Come on, let's go in. His easy manner returns. He leads us inside. The manager spots Mr. Lu and jogs over. Chairman Lu, show us the available units, especially the prime spots. The manager leads us eagerly to the prime area near the main entrance. Chairman, Mr. Chen, take a look at this one. He gestures to a unit 50% larger than the others. It's one of the biggest stalls in the whole market. Unbeatable location, great floor space, excellent for display, impressive for any kind of business. The unit is genuinely good. Open bright. Mr. Lu looks at me. Little brother, how about this one? Mia's eyes light up slightly, waiting for my call. I shake my head. Not this one? The manager blinks. Little brother, this is the best location we've got. I shake my head again, and turn my gaze toward the back of the market. Let's go look near the side entrance. The side entrance? The manager looks confused. There's a lot less foot traffic over there. It's pretty out of the way. Lead the way? We reach the northwest side entrance. It backs up against the freight corridor in the edge of the parking area. Foot traffic is thin. Most of the stalls near the side entrance sit empty. Glass doors filmed with dust. My eyes land on one unremarkable unit. It's not directly facing the entrance. It sits slightly recessed, with a load-bearing column beside it. This one. I point to it. This one. Mia can't help herself. She looks at the quiet surroundings. Then at the stall half hidden behind the column, thoroughly puzzled. Mr. Lu frowns too. Little brother, this spot is too far off the beaten path. The light's affected, and the column blocks the view. Let's look further up. No need, I say with certainty. This is the one. But why? Mia asks quietly. I lower my voice. Because the feng shui is excellent here. Feng shui? I point to the load-bearing column. Look at this pillar. In feng shui terms, it represents a strong mountain at your back. The recessed front of the stall is called gathering breath, sheltering wind. Prosperity comes in and doesn't easily escape. I point toward the freight corridor outside the side entrance. Out there, vehicles coming and going, that's movement. In here, stillness. Movement and stillness in balance, endless vitality. Mia listens with a bewildered look on her face. Mr. Lu doesn't know whether to laugh or sigh and stops arguing. Alright, if you've set your heart on it, then that's the one. He turns to the manager. This unit, draw up the contract. He doesn't even go back to the office. Has the manager bring the contract out to the Mercedes. Right there in the car, Mia and I sign the lease. 30-year term. Renewable. Total rent $100,000. Practically a giveaway. Mia holds the contract, and the most at ease smile of the entire day spreads across her face. Jason, what's next? Now that the shop's settled, let's look at apartments nearby. If the right one comes up, we'll buy it. Buy a place? Mia's eyes light up again. Yes, buy a place. Mr. Lu chimes in right away. Little brother wants to buy nearby? Alright, Moonview Terrace and Southeast Pearl in this area were both developed by our company or our partners. Whichever one you like, I'll arrange the lowest possible price. I shake my head. No need for those. We'll go take a look at Warm Home. Warm Home? Mr. Lu pauses. That's a resettlement buyback complex from a few years back. Sold out and handed over long ago. Everything circulating now is second-hand. I understand what he means. New units, he can influence the price directly. Second-hand units, not so much. I smile. I know. New or used doesn't matter. Right location is all I care about. One phone call from Mr. Liu. And in under 15 minutes, a white business van pulls up. The door swings open, and out steps a man in his 40s with a slightly rounded belly. Chairman Liu, you came yourself? He trots over with both hands extended, then turns to us. I'm Zhou, Eddie Zhou. Anything Mr. Liu needs, I've got it covered. Mr. Liu gives a light nod. Eddie, Mr. Chen here is like a brother to me. He wants to look at units at Warm Home. What do you have? Of course, absolutely. Eddie thumps his chest. When Mr. Liu speaks, the commission fee disappears. Let's call it making a friend. Warm Home has 4 units on the market. We view them one by one. 3 are unremarkable. Then we push open the door to the last one, on the top floor, and sunlight floods in to meet us. An unfinished shell, concrete floors, bare white walls, open and clean. Mia walks to the far end of the living room and lets out a small gasp. There's a terrace outside, a full 600 square feet of it. Eddie steps up to explain. Mrs. Chen, technically this terrace is common space. But look at the layout. Top floor, only 1 unit up here. Nobody else can get up here. Seal the door and this is essentially your private garden. Mia doesn't say a word. She just stands in the sunlight, gazing at the empty space. I walk over to her. If we enclose this, put a flower trellis over there with climbing roses, build a planter bed here with hydrangeas, a rattan table and 2 chairs in the southeast corner. Summer evenings we sit out here with tea and watermelon looking at the stars. Mia turns to look at me without saying anything. Her eyes are quietly turning red. The unit is around 1,200 square feet. Add the terrace, and usable space stretches to 1,800. I look at her. So, do you like it? She doesn't answer right away. She just turns back and stands there looking at it for a long while, then gives a quiet nod. Mr. Liu jumps right in. Little brother, this is the one. Don't worry about the renovation, I'll handle it. He waves a big hand. This complex was developed by our company. We still have the blueprints. I'll get someone to enclose the terrace. Put in a door from the living room, add a spiral staircase outside, glass dome on top. Got the materials sitting in storage. Might as well put them to good use. Mia asks, how much would all that cost? Mr. Liu laughs. Sis-in-law, don't mention money to me. It's just a little extra work on top of what we do anyway. He's made his decision about me, and he's deliberately building the relationship. I won't pretend otherwise. Deal. Thank you, Mr. Liu. Eddie is about to finalize this unit when I turn to him. Eddie, I'll take all 4. All what? Eddie blinks. Mia whips around, staring at me in disbelief. Mr. Liu is caught off guard too. Little brother, is the space not enough? I've got a villa over at Moonview Terrace, 3,000 square feet, just take it. No need. I wave it off with a smile. I genuinely love this location. I look out the window. Walking distance to Wanjiahui, the preschool is right next door. Perfect for Cherry's school run and easy for Mia to keep an eye on the shop. Mia pulls at my sleeve and lowers her voice. We don't need 4 units though, even if there's still over 3 million in the account. I take her hand in mine. Trust me, it won't be a loss. She opens her mouth then swallows what she was about to say. I turn to Eddie. Eddie, all 4, draw up the contracts. All 4 units outright comes to just over 2 million. Over 1 million left in the account. Enough to start up the shop and keep things moving. The contracts go smoothly. The move goes even smoother. 1 phone call from Mr. Liu, and a small truck shows up in half an hour. 3 guys and everything's moved before noon. The top floor needs renovating, so we move into one of the 5th floor units in the meantime. The previous owner barely lived there. A quick clean, fresh curtains. And Mia sets the pothos vine she's been growing for years on the windowsill. Cherry kicks off her shoes and runs across the new floors, dashing from room to room. Like a little sparrow let loose. Mommy, is this room mine? Daddy, are we going to live here from now on? Mia sinks onto the sofa Mr. Liu sent over. He called it a warehouse sample, but it's brand new. Packaging film still on. She looks around, watching Cherry dash back and forth, a dazed look in her eyes. Yesterday she was still crammed into that dark, damp little apartment. This morning she was in a screaming match with her parents. Now she's sitting in a bright, spacious new home, a commercial unit in her name, 4 apartments with both our names on the deeds, and a top floor unit with a terrace waiting to become a garden in the sky. It's all happened so fast it feels like a dream. Sunlight pours through the window and catches in the slight shimmer of her eyes, breaking into tiny fragments of light. Watching her emotion, I think every cent of that 2 million was worth it. 2 million, 4 apartments. I know exactly how much this investment is going to be worth. In 1 more year, Ninghai's education landscape is about to be rocked to its foundations. A retired senior official from the capital, originally from Ninghai, is about to step down from an important position. He's been reserved his whole life, but this once he personally asked to leave a school on the land where he was born. Not a plaque, not a donation. The real deal, bringing Huabei-affiliated primary school, Beijing's finest, into Ninghai as a branch campus. And the site chosen is on the vacant lot right next to Warm Home. When the Huabei-affiliated Ninghai branch opens enrollment, every family in the city is fighting to get their child in. The school district boundary is drawn to circle Warm Home entirely. Overnight, this resettlement complex that everyone used to look down on transforms into Ninghai's hottest, most sought-after school district property. Property values rocket upward. The old residents who received these apartments during the demolition find themselves suddenly wealthy a second time around. Some sell 1 unit and have enough for their son's down payment in Beijing. Others trade a home they've lived in for half their lives for a small fortune. For 2 years, all of Ninghai talks about Warm Home. Some people are envious, some consumed with jealousy, others bitter with regret for not buying in when they had the chance, some outright furious. Every kind of reaction you can imagine. Meanwhile, I'm sitting on 4 units. When the price peaks, I'll sell 3 at the right moment and keep 1 for ourselves. By that point, forget just getting by comfortably for life. Mia could lie down and do absolutely nothing from this day forward, and she'd still live better than fine for the rest of her years. Of course, if I wanted to make even more, with the information and capital I have, I could buy out every apartment in every complex nearby. But there's no need. Being reborn has made one thing gradually clear to me. Money is endless. There will always be more to earn. In my past life, I spent everything I had, built a $100 billion empire from nothing. And what did I have at the end of it all? This life, enough is enough. My daughter's smile, the look in my wife's eyes, the quiet, steady warmth of sitting together at the dinner table as a family. These are the things I actually treasure. Henry sits in his car for nearly 20 minutes. His phone is clenched so tight his palm burns. Finally, he starts the engine. His father's voice on the phone was so fierce, if he really doesn't show up, he may not be welcome back. The car winds through the streets and stops outside the familiar old building. He takes a deep breath, goes upstairs, knocks. No answer. Knocks again. Still nothing. He goes back down and jogs to the fruit stand at the corner of the alley. The stand is spotlessly cleared out. Even the old digital scale is gone. The vegetable vendor next door pokes her head out and recognizes him. "Oh, looking for your sister?" "Yes. They moved." The vendor's voice carries easily. "A big truck came this afternoon. Couple of young guys cleared everything out in no time. I was just thinking, they lived here for what, 10 years? How do you just up and move like that?" Henry's head goes blank with shock. "Where did they go?" The vendor shakes her head. "That I don't know. Didn't your sister tell you?" Henry doesn't respond. He stands in front of the empty stall, phone in hand, motionless for a long moment. That same evening, Mia's phone rings. She picks up, listens for a moment, and her expression shifts. Without a word, she hands the phone to me. I take it, then hear Richard's voice, full of force and self-righteousness. "Jason Chen, listen to me. That apartment was allocated by my work unit. The deed is in my name. I've already committed it to the reverse mortgage program. I'm going in to complete the paperwork tomorrow. Unless you divorce Mia, you two are not living in that apartment." I hold the phone in silence for 2 seconds. Then, "Dad, we already moved out." 2 seconds of silence on the other end. "You moved out?" "Yes, this afternoon. The place is empty now. You can come take it back, whenever you want." Another silence. Then the call ends. I hand the phone back to Mia. She looks at me, eyes rimmed red, but dry. Her voice shakes slightly. "Did they really put the apartment into that program?" "Probably." She looks down, gripping the phone, quiet for a long time. Then she raises her head, forces a small smile. "It doesn't matter. We weren't going back anyway." I nod and pull her close. The fruit wholesale supermarket at Wanjiawi finishes its renovation. The first month after opening, business is slow and steady at best. Sometimes Mia stares at the quiet shop floor, and a flicker of anxiety crosses her face. I'm not worried. There's still money in the account. The shop is ours, no rent to pay. The top floor unit is still being renovated. Life is lived one day at a time, not chased. A month later, Mr. Liu calls to say the renovation is done. We go to take a look. The moment the door opens, Mia goes completely still. The entire wall between the living room and the terrace has been opened up. Mr. Liu actually installed floor-to-ceiling glass folding doors, and right now every panel is pushed wide open. Sunlight floods in from the terrace and fills the entire room with gold. The terrace is transformed. Weatherproof decking covers the concrete. A planter bed has been built into the corner, planted with climbing roses and plumbago. The flower trellis is already in place. Vines not yet fully grown, but green already spotted and climbing. A round rattan table in the southeast corner, 2 chairs, and on the table, a rustic ceramic vase with a few stems of hydrangea. A glass dome covers half the terrace. Clear, letting in full sunlight, protected from rain. Mia walks slowly out onto the terrace. She stands there for a long time. Then she covers her mouth and her eyes fill with tears. Cherry arrives with a shriek. She'd been downstairs with Mr. Liu's assistant looking at a little apple tree she'd been asking about, then turned around to find both parents gone. She pumped her little legs and ran upstairs. The door opens and she freezes, then lets out a shriek of delight. She charges into the living room, spins in a circle, bursts out onto the terrace, spins another circle, the apple tree, the trellis, the round table, the glass dome. Each one gets its own little gasp of wonder. "Mommy, it's so beautiful." I watch the two of them, and all of a sudden, every billion-dollar contract, every massive acquisition, every spotlight moment from my past life doesn't come close to this. Not even a fraction of it. And when good things come, they tend to come in waves. 2 months later, the fruit wholesale supermarket, which has been quietly ticking along, suddenly takes off. It starts with Mia's livestream. It was my idea. "You've got new customers walking in every day. Why not try a livestream? No need to pitch hard or perform. Just set up your phone and film yourself doing what you do, selling fruit, restocking shelves, chatting with customers." Mia looked at me, a little lost. "Livestream? I don't know how to do any of that." "You don't need to. Just be yourself." I put together a couple of outfits for her. Nothing flashy or performance ready. Just simple cotton and linen shirts. A plain apron, hair loosely tied back. Soft, relaxed lighting. No strange filters. Just one warm-toned fill light shining over the fruit display. The background, the Wanjiawi stall itself, wooden shelves lined neatly with seasonal fresh fruit. Price tags handwritten in wobbly letters in Cherry's handwriting. The first week, average viewers hover around 3 to 5 people. Mia doesn't push it. When no one's talking, she just keeps her head down, sorting the fruit, occasionally looking up at the camera with a quiet smile and saying a line or two. The strawberries are really sweet today. Fresh blueberries just came in. Second week. One evening, she's scrolling through her phone and comes across a video from a blueberry farm in a neighboring province. A farmer is crouched on the ground, sighing to himself. Mia watches it several times. First thing the next morning, she calls the supplier and orders 500 pounds outright. She doesn't make a show of it. Just puts the blueberries out on the shelves during the stream and mentions offhand, "These blueberries are really good. The farmer's having a tough time. If we can help a little, we should." That evening, hundreds of viewers flood into the stream. Comments rush across the screen. "You're so pretty. Did you actually buy from the farm? Already ordered." Supporting honest businesses. Mia is flustered, scrambling to reply, face flushing red. The next day, the platform's algorithm kicks in. The supporting farmers tag goes up and traffic bursts through like a dam breaking. By the third day, orders start flooding in. The receipt printer screams all day from morning to night, no breaks. And it's not just online. Foot traffic at the shop explodes too. The main entrance to Wanjiawi starts road construction, municipal pipe network renovation, expected timeline posted 8 months, front gate sealed, vehicles can't get through, and all the traffic that used to head for the main street stalls floods toward the north side entrance instead. The north side entrance is right where our shop is. Vehicles line up one after another outside our door, unloading in front, loading up and back. Mangoes just hit the shelf over here. And over there, wholesalers already walked in with an order slip. "Boss, 5 more boxes of golden mangoes. You still have shined muscat grapes? Give me 10 cases of cherries. Can you do a better price on the cherries? I'm buying a lot." Just one day, and the two of us are run completely ragged. Forget eating. Even taking a sip of water has to be squeezed in between orders. We get home and Mia collapses onto the couch, without even the energy to lift a hand to brush the hair from her face. The next day, I quickly ask Mr. Liu to help bring in 5 more people, and that's the only thing that gives us room to breathe. "Little brother, I've got the team sorted for you." Mr. Liu's voice booms over the phone. I wipe my hands and tuck the phone against my ear. "Mr. Liu, was it any trouble? Doing things for you, I know it's worth it." He pauses, then starts listing them off. 1 truck driver, former military, 8 years behind the wheel of a heavy vehicle, clean record, and 2 young women. One studied e-commerce, worked at a content agency, she knows the ins and outs of live stream traffic. The other studied media, got a friendly face and a way with words, she can keep the stream lively. He lowers his voice. "Little brother, I'm genuinely in awe. How did you know they were going to be doing roadwork at the main entrance? Did you actually read it in the feng shui?" I smile. "Mr. Liu, you're in real estate, you know better than I do whether feng shui means anything." Half a second of silence on the other end, then a burst of genuine laughter. True enough, true enough. Some things only work if you believe in them. Little brother, your instincts. I'm genuinely in awe." I don't bother explaining further. The main entrance roadwork, 8 months of underground pipe renovation, I did know about this in advance. In my past life, Wanjiawi went through the exact same thing, and for exactly this reason the North Gate became the main entry point. The quietest, most overlooked corner of the market got trampled into prime real estate by sheer volume of traffic. Back then, a feng shui master even came specifically to point at the pillar by the North Gate and declare it a dragon pillar that commands the water. The adjacent stall, he said, was reclining to shelter the wind. The story took on a life of its own. This time, I'm the one cashing in on that geography. But even I didn't fully anticipate that Mia's live stream would blow up the way it did. Beautiful, natural look, supporting farmers, domestic economy, consumer drive, rural revitalization. Mia happened to hit every single tag the platform wants to promote. Traffic floods toward her like a dam breaking open. Sometimes, in the rare, quiet moments, she'll sit beside a shelf and drift off in thought. "Jason, I ran the numbers again today. Last month, online and in-store combined came to 1.37 million. Profit was 210,000. Her expression is a little dazed. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and stare at the ceiling and think, is this a dream? I keep expecting to wake up and still be in that old building, Cherry asleep against the wall, you not home yet." She stops there. I take her hand. "It's not a dream. And even if it were, it's a dream we earned ourselves." She looks up, eyes a little red. I need to redirect her. "The most important thing right now isn't making money." She turns to look at me. I continue. "Cherry has her hospital follow-up next month, and her preschool started giving her homework." Mia is quiet for a few seconds. "Are you saying I don't spend enough time with her?" "What I'm saying is we're not short on money anymore." I look into her eyes. "What we're short on is time to watch her grow up." She draws a long, slow breath. "I know, but I can't seem to stop. Sometimes I feel like if I slow down, everything will just disappear." "It won't," I say with a smile. But she suddenly furrows her brow, her voice turning serious. "Cherry starts elementary school next year. The nearest public school around here is pretty average. The good ones in the city either require you to be in the right school district or charge a huge transfer fee. School district apartments in the city center, old and tiny, but they're going for 40 or 50,000 a square meter. Even a 600 square foot unit starts at 3 million. She's picking up speed as she talks, like something is pushing her from behind. No, I need to keep earning more. Watching her like this, I don't know whether to laugh or sigh. Don't worry, our daughter is a lucky one. The truly blessed don't have to scramble. She blinks, clearly not quite following. I don't rush to explain. The Huabei-affiliated school news isn't something I can share yet. The timing isn't right, but when that announcement goes public, half of Ninghai is going to lose its mind. The fruit wholesale supermarket keeps growing like a snowball rolling downhill. The company is officially registered now. The name was my idea, Dream Life Fruit. Mia sees those two words sitting together on the business license and the corner of her mouth curves up. Official now. I suggest to Mia that we pay the staff well. She nods. The wages go up a tier, and the shop runs noticeably smoother. The two of us finally don't have to be there every single day. The live stream especially. The two young women picked it up fast. Mia only shows up at set times, but every time she comes on, the comment section explodes. The fruit beauty tag appeared at some point and just spread on its own. One afternoon, Mia's phone rings. She hangs up and tells me, the management office at my old market called. I need to go pick up my deposit refund. How much? 2,000? I laugh. That's not even half a day's unloading income. Still can't just leave it. Why give the management office a free gift? She rolls her eyes at me, already slipping on her shoes. 20 minutes later, Mia stands at the entrance of that familiar alley. The little fruit stand has a new owner. The storefront has been redone, bright and clean. She looks at it for a few seconds, shakes her head, and turns toward the management office. This is all what she tells me when she gets home. In the management office, Director Joe sees her and is suddenly twice as warm as she's ever been. Once the paperwork is done, the director keeps her for a chat. She asks where we're living now. Mia says casually, near Wanjiawi, Warm Home Complex. Director Joe's eyes go round. Warm Home? You live at Warm Home? Mia blinks. What's the matter? The director doesn't answer, just turns around, flips through some files, and slaps a document down in front of her. It's a photocopy of an official document with a long title. Mia's eyes jump straight to a few key words. Huabei-affiliated primary school Ninghai branch campus. Site selection and school district boundaries. Her eyes move down the page and land on the line, Warm Home Residential Complex included within this school's enrollment zone. Below that, in smaller print, the release date, 3 days ago. What does this mean? Mia can't process it fast enough. Director Joe fills in the gap. Your area is school district property now. Huabei-affiliated, a Beijing school, the best school district in all of Ninghai. Nobody used to look twice at those old Warm Home apartments. Take a guess what they're going for per square meter now. Mia opens her mouth. No sound comes out. 130,000. Director Joe holds up 2 fingers. And people still can't get their hands on them at that price. She assumes Mia is renting, and her face fills with regret. Oh, you poor thing. If only you'd bought a unit there a while back. Renting is just paying off someone else's mortgage. The landlord is absolutely raking it in now. Think about it. 130,000 per square meter. Any unit over 1,000 square feet is worth over 10 million. Mia stands frozen. 10 million. Warm Home. 130,000 per square meter. They have 4 units in their name. In that instant, her legs go weak. She steadies herself on the desk and slowly sinks into a chair. Director Joe is startled. What's wrong? You've gone so pale. Are you feeling all right? Mia shakes her head, opens her mouth, and her voice comes out barely there. Director Joe, the price at Warm Home, what did you say it was? 130,000. Why? Mia doesn't answer. She just sits there, dazed, eyes fixed on the document on the desk, completely motionless. Then she dials my number. My phone buzzes while I'm in the shop checking inventory. I pick up. Silence on the other end. Mia? I call out. Jason, Warm Home is at 130,000. I pause. The Huabei-affiliated branch campus is right next door. We're inside the school district. 130,000 per square meter. I lean against the shelf. I'll admit, I'm a little caught off guard. In my past life, this news broke a full year later. This time around, it's come almost 8 months early. Come back first. We'll go to the agency together. Okay, she agrees, then pauses. Jason, when you bought those 4 units, did you already know something? I smile. How could I have? If I could see the future, I'd have borrowed money and bought up the entire complex. What would I need a fruit shop for? Another few seconds of quiet on her end, then a soft and the call ends. She hurries back. But someone else arrives first. A large black Mercedes pulls up at the shop entrance. And Mr. Liu strides in. Little brother, you've heard about the Warm Home School District news? I set down my order sheet. Just found out. I was out of town, came straight here from the airport. He walks up close and lowers his voice. Little brother, be straight with me. Did you know about this policy in advance? I smile, easy and unhurried. Mr. Liu, if I could predict school district policy, why would I be running a fruit shop? Mr. Liu stares at me for several seconds, then lets out a short laugh. Little brother, plenty of people get lucky, but nobody's luck is this good, or this precise. I smile and let it go. When Mia gets back, her face is still flushed. The 3 of us head straight to Eddie's realty office, and we realize right away something's off. A massive crowd is swarming outside, nearly bursting through the front door. Inside, it's even worse. Any units left at Warm Home? Any layout, I'll pay cash in full. Eddie Joe pushes his way out through the crowd, his forehead drenched in sweat. He spots me and his eyes light up. He hurries over. Mr. Chen, you're here. The customers nearby stare, wondering why the agency owner is greeting this man like he's his long-lost father. I smile. Doing well, Eddie? Looks like business is booming. Thanks to your blessing, Mr. Chen. He bows and ushers us into the small meeting room. So, Mr. Chen, what brings you in today? Selling? Eddie's eyes go bright. Warm home units? Yes. Which ones? Mia presses her lips together. The 5th floor unit and the 3rd floor one. The top floor we're keeping, for ourselves. And the other one, we'll hold off on for now. Eddie nods rapidly. He gets to work on the numbers. Pen scratching fast, figures jumping out. He slides the paper across to me. Mr. Chen, the 5th floor unit is 980 square feet, conservatively valued at 12.5 million. The 3rd floor, 950 square feet, roughly 12.3 million, conservatively valued at 12.5. I nod. That works, go with those numbers. Eddie nods eagerly. Then he remembers something. Mr. Chen, the commission. I laugh. Can't waive it this time, can we, Eddie? Eddie pauses, a complicated look crossing his face. Mr. Chen, last time you said you'd let me earn back the commission fee next time around? I honestly took that as just something polite to say. I didn't actually expect it. And yet here you are. His eyes burn with sincerity. Mr. Liu's gaze snaps over toward me too. And Mia turns to look at me from the side. I smile faintly, and put my arm around Mia's shoulder. Nothing to do with me, it's my wife. Beautiful, kind-hearted, and a lucky charm for this family. Mia's face goes instantly red. She gives me a light smack. Her phone buzzes. 24.8 million, received. I glance at it and slide the phone back into my pocket, but Mia keeps staring at her screen, reading that string of numbers over and over, even tapping through them with her finger to count. Jason. Are we multimillionaires now? I nod. We are, but I don't feel anything. She furrows her brow, genuinely puzzled. The numbers are in my phone. The apartments are still right there, nothing's moved, the shop is still busy as ever. How are we suddenly millionaires? Mr. Liu bursts out laughing beside us. Sis-in-law, wealthy people need to live like wealthy people. That's the only way it feels real. Little brother, take my advice, upgrade the house. We just released a batch of standalone villas over at Emerald Lake. Beautiful surroundings, great privacy. Private garden, garage included. Let me put aside the best one for you. Call it my thank you. He means it sincerely, and I know his thinking too. After the warm homeschool district news broke, the properties he'd been holding and his Wanjiahui stake both shot up hard. This one wave brought him no less than developing 2 full residential projects. He wants to cement our friendship even more, but I shake my head. Mr. Liu, I appreciate the thought. But we're keeping the house. Mia nods firmly beside me. Exactly. I haven't had my fill of the sunroom on the top floor yet. The climbing roses on the terrace just bloomed. I go out every morning to check on them. It would break my heart to leave. The way she says it carries that particular kind of fondness only a girl in love with her own home can have. I look at her, and something in me grows more certain. In my past life, I lived in every kind of villa imaginable. Empty, oversized rooms where a single person walks around and the echo is louder than the footsteps. Right now, 3 of us crowded into the top floor of warm home, drinking tea under the glass dome and watching the stars. That beats any mansion. Mr. Liu sees us both shaking our heads and lets it go. He moves on immediately with a new idea. Fine, no new house. But what about a car? A car? Yes. A business like yours needs a proper car. When you're meeting clients, you can't exactly pick them up in the delivery truck. He pauses, then adds. And sis-in-law is a social media star now. Taking the bus, her followers would never let that slide. That last line gets Mia. She laughs and glances at me, and her expression softens. I think it over, then nod. All right. There's a car show next week. We'll go take a look. Half an hour later, we return to Wanjiahui. The car barely comes to a stop before I sense something's wrong. A crowd is gathered outside the shop. Not customers. Onlookers. Several men are blocking the entrance, hands on hips, cigarettes hanging from their mouths. Through the haze of smoke there's a clear air of menace. My stomach drops. I push the car door open and walk quickly over, pushing through the crowd until I can see inside. The live stream stand is knocked over. The phone screen is shattered. 2 or 3 of the neatly stacked fruit crates have been toppled. Mandarin oranges rolling across the floor. The 2 young women from our team are huddled in the corner, faces white. The spot where Mia usually sits for the live stream, now occupied by a middle-aged man. Buzz cut. Thick gold chain around his neck, legs crossed, rolling 2 walnuts in one hand. He looks me up and down through narrowed eyes without getting up. You the boss? I take in the shop with a quick sweep. My voice stays level. What can I do for you, gentlemen? The buzz-cut man makes a clicking sound with his tongue. He sets the walnuts on the table. Let me introduce myself. Name's Yong. Big Yong, East City. I run a business consultancy. Looking to expand lately, I've got my eye on this unit. He stands and walks over to me, looking me up and down. You've got a good spot here. North entrance, live stream operation. Business looks pretty hot. I don't respond. He continues. I'll make you an offer. 50,000. Take it. Find somewhere else to set up shop. This unit is mine. He pats my shoulder. Little brother, do me a favor. Move out today. I look down at where his hand landed, then look back up. Big Yong, right? This shop isn't for sale. Big Yong stares at me. Little brother, I don't think you heard me clearly. I said do me a favor. Are you going to take that or not? I give a cold smile. Just then, a car door opens behind me. Mr. Lu strides over. Who's causing trouble here? Big Young turns, his eyes narrow, then his face quickly arranges itself into a smile. Well, Chairman Lu, what brings you here? Is this little shop under your protection? Mr. Lu walks up and stands beside me. He lets out a cold laugh. My protection? I developed this entire Wanjiahui complex. Every unit here, I decide who gets it. He takes one step forward. Who exactly are you, to come onto my property? Big Young's face shifts, his jaw tightens but he swallows it. Chairman Lu, come now. I'm just here to do business, no need for bad blood. Business? Mr. Lu points at the toppled livestream stand and the fruit scattered across the floor. This is how you conduct business? Big Young lets out a dry laugh and says nothing. He turns to look at me, his expression cold and calculating. Alright, little brother with Chairman Lu here today. I'll give you the courtesy. He moves toward the door and glances back. But you better think hard about whether someone can really watch your back forever. He waves a hand, and the men follow him, disappearing into the crowd. The shop goes quiet. The girls in the corner can't hold it in anymore and start crying. Mia rushes in from outside and grabs me. Are you okay? I'm fine. I pat her back, then look toward Mr. Lu at the door. Little brother, this Yang, he targets thriving shops. He keeps a crew of thugs on payroll. He backed off today as a favor to me, but he's not going to swallow this quietly. Watch yourself from here on. I hear you. Thank you, Mr. Lu. I don't say much more. I just crouch down and start picking up the scattered mandarins one by one, putting them back in the crate. The next day, the police station calls out of nowhere. Jason Chen, your driver, Sun Jian, was involved in a fight. He's in the hospital. I freeze. A fight, old son? Yes. Can you come to City First Hospital? Mia and I rush over. We find the ward and push open the door. Old Sun is lying in the hospital bed. Bandages wrapped around his head. Eye sockets purple and swollen shut to narrow slits. A woman sits in the chair beside the bed, eyes red. His wife, most likely. 2 officers stand by the window, one taking notes, one standing with arms folded. Boss, old son sees us and struggles to sit up. I cross the room in a few steps and ease him back down. Don't move. What happened? Old son opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. His wife's tears spill over again, her voice breaking. Boss, my husband would never start trouble. He's not that kind of man. I know, I say. I look at old son. Take your time. Old son catches his breath and starts talking. Early that morning he went to pick up a load of dragon fruit, got it all loaded, and had barely pulled out of the market gate when a group of men burst from the side of the road, armed with clubs and rocks. No words, straight to smashing the truck. Someone climbed into the truck bed and started hurling the freshly loaded dragon fruit down, crate after crate hitting the ground. Old son's a veteran. He jumped out and took down 2 of them, but there were too many. No matter how well he can handle himself, 7 or 8 men surrounding you is a different story. He took a blow to the back of the head. Before he blacked out, he saw someone smashing the truck windows, and another slashing the tires with a knife. When he came to, he was in the hospital. Old son finishes, jaw clenched, cheek muscles tight with fury. I step out of the ward with the 2 officers. Officer. I offer a cigarette. The older one takes it, tucks it in his mouth unlit. He works for you? Yes. Driver. Ex-military. Never causes problems. He nods. The guys who did it were fast. By the time we got there, nothing but a mess. Plates were obscured. Security cameras caught a few figures from behind. No faces. So what happens now? Statements filed, cases open. He gives me a look. But you know how it is. Unless there's a city-wide organized crime sweep, cases like this are hard to move on. I have my answer. I head back to the ward door. Mia is coming out as I arrive. She's given old son's wife $8,000. Told old son to focus on recovering, said the shop's losses are nothing to worry about. That his job is waiting when he's ready, and his salary keeps running through the whole recovery. Old son's wife hurries after us. Grabs Mia's hand with both of hers, too overwhelmed to speak. Outside the hospital, Mia asks what the police said. I tell her, case is open but hard to pursue. She frowns. So what do? Should we ask Mr. Lu for help? I shake my head. No need for him. There are legitimate channels, and then there are other channels. Trust me, I'll handle this. I call Wendell Gu. The next day at noon, a black business van stops outside the shop. The driver gets out and holds the door open, attitude extremely respectful. Mia watches from a distance, uneasy. I get in without much explanation. The car winds through a series of turns and stops at the entrance of an old alley, long and deep, lined on both sides by aged apartment buildings with peeling walls. At the very end, a noodle shop with a small sign. The characters so faded they're barely legible. I push the door open. 5 or 6 tables inside. Only one of them occupied, all the way in the back. Wendell Gu is bent over a bowl of noodles. He looks up as I approach, and gestures to the stool beside him. Sit. You eating? I glance at his bowl. The broth is dark, the noodles uneven. No. He looks up. Straight to the point, aren't you? Why eat something that doesn't taste good? He blinks, then laughs. Jason Chen, I can never tell if you're confident or just full of yourself. He sets down his chopsticks. But you're right, it doesn't taste good. Still, this saved my life once. I listen quietly. Back in a difficult time, my parents were punished for having overseas ties. My sister and I had no one. We nearly starved. An old neighbor secretly brought us a bowl of these noodles every day. He pokes at the noodles with his chopsticks. Buckwheat, mixed with ground elm bark. Terrible, but it kept the hunger off. When I made something of myself later, I went looking for that neighbor, already gone. He pauses. But I still come to eat a bowl of this now and then, to remind myself where I crawled out from. I look at the bowl. After a few seconds I speak. Wendell, I'll say something you might not want to hear. Eating well is the best way to honor the past. He looks up. Eating hardship food every day to remember your roots. I shake my head. That's just performing suffering for yourself. Real gratitude means eating the best, wearing the best, living the best life you can. So that child who nearly starved can see, we made it. We're living better than anyone. Wendell stares at me for several seconds. You've got a point. He wipes his mouth, expression returning to normal. Now to business. This big Yong is a small fish. The man behind him is a person known as Third Lai from Changjiang Company. Lai ran with the underground back in the day, then cleaned up his image and worked his way into the district political advisory committee. Already inside the system and still pulling this kind of thing? He has no choice. Wendell leans back in his chair. He's someone else's instrument. It's not that he wants to be aggressive. If he isn't, whoever holds the handle just finds another blade. I nod. So he hasn't really made it inside yet. Wendell smiles. I'll take care of it. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. He looks at me. My daughter's birthday is next week. We're having a small gathering. Bring your daughter. I look at him. Things are going well between you two? Something soft crosses Wendell's face. Using the information you gave me, I found Nuan. After that, I put a lot of effort into being with her. Lately, I've been turning down outside engagements, just staying home playing with her every day. He pauses. She grew up without a father. Now she has one. But she doesn't have many friends yet. I'd like to introduce her to more kids her age. How old is your daughter? 5. My Nuan is 6. They'll get along just fine. He looks at me. Bring your wife and daughter next weekend. I nod. We'll be there. Back home, Mia's on the terrace watering the roses. I fill her in on everything. When I finish, the watering can stops mid-air. Wendell Gu. Is that the friend you mentioned before? Mia's nerves are already showing. What kind of family is he from? What should I wear? What should Cherry wear? Do we bring a gift? I can't help laughing. Relax. She takes a deep breath. I've never been around people like that. You've mentioned Wendell a few times. He sounds like someone from a very prominent family. I think about it. His family, going back to his grandfather, is genuinely old money nobility. Mia's face goes pale. But I change direction. Wendell himself is the black sheep of the family. Him and I were the same kind of trouble. He's basically just a street kid who made good. Mia gives me a look. I put my arm around her shoulder. Stop overthinking it. Tomorrow, we go buy something nice for you and Cherry to wear. Then we go to the car show. We'll show up next week in a new car looking the part. Are they really just ordinary people? Honestly, a little below us right now. She bursts out laughing and gives me a light smack. The next day, in the women's boutique at Ninghai's most upscale shopping center, I pick out a cream white dress for Mia. She takes it into the fitting room. A few minutes later, the door opens and Mia steps out. And I go still. The dress fits perfectly. The cream white makes her skin look even brighter, hair loose around her shoulders. And in the instant she tilts her head slightly to look at me, I think of every celebrity and model I ever encountered in my past life. Not one of them made something lurch inside me the way this does. Does it look okay? She asks softly. I don't answer. I just look at her. The sales assistant murmurs beside us, this dress is absolutely perfect on you. Mia presses her lips into a smile and glances at the mirror. Then she picks up the price tag. The smile freezes on her face. She turns to me, eyes wide with alarm. Babe, 6,800. We'll take this one. I hand the card to the assistant. Then I point toward the rack. That one, and the skirt next to it. Let her try them all. Mia grabs my arm. Too expensive, she whispers. I ignore her and give the assistant a nod. Go ahead. The assistant's eyes light up, and she moves briskly toward the rack. A few minutes later, the fitting room door opens again. Mia steps out in a deep navy velvet gown. The neckline is just right. The waist fits beautifully. I have her try the gray knit set next, then a sleek black dress. Every single one looks stunning. Not because the clothes are special, because she is. We'll take them all. Card swiped. The assistant hands the card back with both hands. Sir, ma'am, let me wrap everything up for you. Just then, Cherry tugs at my hand. Daddy, I need to use the bathroom. I look down at her. Okay, Daddy will take you. I turn to Mia. Wait here. Get everything packed up. I'll be right back. She nods. I take Cherry's hand and head toward the restroom inside the mall. I only found out later what happened right after I left. 2 young women were passing by the shop entrance. One glanced in casually, then stopped short. Sis? Mia turned and was equally surprised. Xiao Yu! The girl was Mia's cousin Lucy Liu. Lucy rushed inside. She looked Mia up and down. It really is you! I thought I was seeing things! Mia laughed. What are you doing here? Meeting a classmate for dinner. Lucy's eyes dropped to the dress Mia was still wearing. Sis, are you actually shopping here? Mia tugged self-consciously at the hem. No, just browsing. The other girl had followed Lucy inside and was looking Mia over curiously. Lucy caught herself. Oh, this is my cousin. And this is my classmate. We're heading up to eat. Nice to meet you. Mia nodded at the girl. We'll head up then. I'll call you later. Lucy pulled her classmate toward the exit and around the corner. The classmate immediately grabbed Lucy's arm. Your cousin must be loaded, Lucy blinked. Loaded? No way. Every item in that store is thousands of dollars minimum. The classmate glanced back. I saw a whole stack of clothes piled up at the register. Was that all hers, seriously? Lucy's steps slowed. I heard about the run-in with the cousin and didn't think much of it. 2 days later we go to the car show. Goal clear, a business vehicle. Mia sets the ground rules on the way there. Babe, nothing too expensive. Around 1 to 200,000 is plenty. I nod. Fine by me. In my past life I drove every luxury car imaginable. A car is just a tool. We enter the venue and follow the crowd. Passing the Volkswagen booth, Cherry suddenly stops. Daddy, look! She points at a car bouncing with excitement. A Beetle! Retro shape, soft pink finish. In a sea of cold metal machines, it looks like a fairy tale that wandered in by mistake. It's so cute. Cherry pulls at my hand. This car is perfect for Mommy, and for me too. I look down at her. Do you like it? She nods hard. I glance at Mia. She doesn't say anything. She's just looking at the car with very soft eyes. Then she quietly asks me how much it costs. I know that look too well. She loves it and is already afraid of the price. She's quietly doing the math in her head. I wave over a sales rep. Hello, sir. This is the top spec Beetle. Suggested retail price is just over 300,000. We have a car show discount as well. Mia quietly tugs my sleeve. Babe, it's too much. I don't respond to her. I look at the rep. Full payment. Do you have one in stock? Yes, sir. The display model can be taken today. Mia's grip on my sleeve tightens. Babe. I turn to her. It's rare that both you and Cherry love the same thing. She blinks, speechless. The sales rep watches, eyes full of quiet envy. Mia says, but how do we meet clients in a car like this? She's found her argument. We can't exactly pick up business contacts in a Beetle. Then we buy a business car too, I say, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. I'll drive that one for client meetings. This one is yours and Cherry's. She looks at me, eyes a little red. Here's the deal. Yours and Cherry's car is decided. My business car, you go pick it out. Any price, any brand, your call. Fair enough? She gives a small nod. She takes Cherry's hand and heads toward the other booths. I handle the paperwork here. Half an hour later, it's all done. I'm about to go find them. When my phone rings, Mia's voice is wrong immediately. Babe, where are you? Get to booth 6 now. What happened? They pushed Cherry, just come. The last words carry both fury and panic. I hang up and head there at once. By the time I arrive, a crowd has formed. I push through and see Mia crouching down, holding Cherry tightly, glaring at someone across from her. Her face is red with anger. Cherry is in her arms, shoulders shaking. Across from them stands a woman around 30. Black blazer, badge on her lapel. Booth manager. She stands with arms folded. A few security guards beside her. What happened? I walk over. Mia sees me and hands Cherry to me and spins to face the woman. Why did you push my child? She's 4 years old. Are you 4 too? The woman lets out a short scoff. Ma'am, please control your emotions. First, this is our booth. We have every right to protect our display vehicles. Second, the barrier is right there. Your daughter went under it herself. Third, she holds up 3 fingers and waggles them. I merely put out my hand. She lost her balance and fell on her own. That has nothing to do with me. Your yelling is damaging our booth's image. I can have security escort you out. You. The woman cuts Mia off. What? If you feel wronged, you're welcome to file a complaint against booth 6. My name is Lin Na. I'll be waiting. Though I should warn you, we get complaints like this all the time. As she speaks, her eyes sweep over Mia and then land on Cherry in my arms. She lets out a light laugh. Kids fall down. It happens. Take her home and comfort her. There's no need to make a scene here. If you're looking to make a false claim, we have legal counsel. She smooths her blazer, voice dripping with arrogance. Besides, this is a premium booth. We serve high net worth clients. Naturally, different levels of wealth receive different levels of service. She leans in slightly, lowering her voice just enough that everyone around can still hear every word. If your assets met the bar, I'd kneel down and lick your shoes. The question is whether you qualify. After hearing that, I have a pretty clear picture of what happened. Cherry saw a large SUV and thought it looked right for her daddy. She wanted to take a closer look. The barrier rope was strung at adult height. The red rope was right above Cherry's head. She never even noticed it. Then this Lin Na shoved her and she fell. I take one step forward and pull Mia back gently, setting Cherry back into her arms. I look at Lin Na. My voice is calm. Manager Lin, was it? You just said different asset levels receive different service. I think that's a fair point. Lin Na's mouth twitches. She thinks I'm about to back down. I don't even look at her. I turn toward the other staff standing behind her, clearly unsure what to do. There are 5 cars lined up on display. Lin Na mentioned one has already been reserved. The other 4 are still available. I raise a hand and point at them. I'll take all 4. What? Lin Na freezes. So does the rest of the staff. I'll say it again, 4 vehicles, full payment, write it up. Nobody moves. What, you think I can't afford it? I reach into my pocket and set my bank card on the table beside me. Then I pull out the payment receipt from the Beetle purchase at the Volkswagen booth. I slap it down on the table. That's the receipt from Volkswagen. Feel free to check it. A young woman with a ponytail hesitates, then comes over and picks up the receipt. She takes one look. Her eyes go wide instantly. Her hand flies to her mouth. She looks up at me, and every trace of the previous expression is gone. Mia forgets her anger entirely and hurries over to grab my arm. Babe, are you actually buying? Even if you are, don't buy from them. I pull her gently into a seat. Trust me. I pat her hand. When the paperwork is nearly complete, I suddenly bend down and pull one of Mia's high heels off her foot. Then I toss it in front of Lin Na. She stares down at the shoe on the ground. Her face turns a deep, ugly red. Manager Lin, I'm curious whether I've reached the bar for your high net worth client services. Her lips tremble. Nothing comes out. The crowd around us keeps growing. Some people are whispering. Others have their phones out filming. She still doesn't speak. I shake my head. Seems your company's service commitments leave a lot to be desired. I turn to the young woman with the ponytail who processed my order. I'm canceling all 4. The girl startles. Sir, Lin Na's face drains completely. During the car show, to push sales, the first couple of days offered unconditional cancellations. Later days only deduct a small deposit. In normal circumstances, nobody buys and then cancels on the spot. But right now, that policy has become the thing that ruins her. Just then, a familiar voice comes from behind the crowd. Little brother, what are you doing here? Mr. Liu pushes through crowd and strides in. I turn to him. Mr. Liu, what brings you here? Looking at cars. He walks up beside me and glances at the shoe on the ground, then at Lin Na frozen in place. What's going on? I give him the short version. Mr. Liu listens, expression darkening. He turns toward the lineup of cars, and his eyes settle on one of the SUVs. He pauses. That one. He pulls out his phone and scrolls through it. Then he holds it out to me. Is this the one? On the screen is a photo of the exact same SUV, same angle and everything. Little brother, that's the one I reserved. You put a deposit on it too? Yes, I was going to give it to you. He points at the car. Last time you said you didn't want a new house? So I figured I'd get you a decent car instead. I had someone set it aside. Delivery was supposed to be tomorrow. He turns to look at Lin Na. His eyes go cold. You pushed the child. Lin Na's face loses every last trace of color. Chairman Liu, I didn't know. Mr. Liu doesn't respond to her. He waves a hand. Cancel it. I don't want the car. He pulls out his phone and dials. Hello, old Zheng. That dark green SUV at booth 6, the one I reserved. Cancel it. Yes, right now. Lin Na stands completely frozen. A middle-aged man in a suit rushes over moments later. His forehead is drenched. Chairman Liu, what happened? Mr. Liu says, Director Zheng, your manager's quite something. My little niece just wanted to look at a car and got shoved to the ground. Director Zheng's face goes green. He turns to look at Lin Na with an expression that could devour her alive. Lin Na opens her mouth. Director, save it. As of right now, you no longer work for this company. Lin Na's knees buckle and she sinks to the floor. We leave booth 6. That little unpleasantness is quickly behind me. Mr. Liu walks with us chatting as we go. We reach the rest area and he suddenly stops. What just happened back there was in the end because of me. Today I'm giving you a car, no debate. Don't argue with me. I pause. Mr. Liu, really, there's no need. Not accepting it means you look down on me. His tone is absolute. He turns to Mia. Sis-in-law, you settle this. Your husband won't give me face. Surely you will. Caught off guard at being called out, Mia glances at me. I give a small nod. We were actually planning to buy a business car. Around 200,000. 200,000? Mr. Liu's eyes light up. Easy. Leave it to me. Nobody knows business cars like I do. I'll find you something perfect. He's already walking. 2 steps away, he turns back. What are you standing there for? Come on. Mia and I exchange a look, completely helpless. We just follow, cherry in my arms. Mr. Liu leads us straight to the Mercedes booth like he owns the place. In the center stands a sleek silver business sedan. A tall model poses beside it for photos. Mr. Liu walks over, doesn't spare the model a single glance, and points at the car. This one, he waves to the staff. Come here, write it up. The model clearly wasn't expecting to be ignored and freezes mid-pose. A staff member jogs over. Hello, sir, are you sure about this one? Certain, Mr. Liu says without hesitation, then turns to Mia and launches into his pitch. Sis-in-law, trust me on this one. This car will meet every single one of your needs. Mercedes, top brand, looks the part when you pull up somewhere. It's a business sedan, plenty of space, works for clients and family alike. He sounds very convincing. I glance at the car. Then I look at the badge on the display. I can't help laughing. Mr. Liu, do you actually know what this car costs? He blinks. 200,000. That's what sis-in-law said. This is a Mercedes AMG. I point at the badge. Not 200,000, around 2 million. Mr. Liu's expression locks up for 1 full second. Mia goes pale. 2 million? That much? No. Mr. Liu, this is way too much. We can't accept this. Mr. Liu recovers quickly and starts playing dumb. Come again? Didn't you say 2 million? I must have misheard. Seeing that neither of us is buying it, he just leans into it. Fine, I'll admit it. I did it on purpose. But I can't bring myself to give you something worth 200,000. If I'm giving a gift, it's this one. You don't accept it, I'm parking myself right here and not leaving. He drops into a nearby seat. I watch him act like a complete overgrown child. Mr. Liu has made a lot from following my leads, but he's never been someone who just takes. He's always looking for ways to give back. This is a friend worth keeping. I glance at Mia. She's still trying to refuse. I walk over and pat her shoulder. Accept it. She looks up at me. A little surprised. I nod. Mr. Liu sees me nod and leaps out of the chair immediately, like he's afraid I'll change my mind. He waves at the staff without hesitation. Write it up. Full payment. Right now. That weekend, I drive the Mercedes AMG with me and Cherry to Wendell Goo's daughter's birthday party. The villa area is quiet. Wendell is waiting at the door himself. He sees us get out and walks briskly toward us. Little brother, sis-in-law, come in, come in. He pulls a little girl in a white princess dress to his side. Nuan Nuan, say hello to uncle and auntie. The girl is delicate-featured, but her eyes dart away. She murmurs shyly, hello uncle, hello auntie. Before anyone can say another word, Cherry's eyes light up. She walks straight over and takes Nuan Nuan's hand. Your name is Nuan Nuan? I'm Cherry. Come on, let's play. The two little girls run hand in hand into the yard, already whispering to each other. Nuan Nuan had hesitated for just a moment and looked back at Wendell. He smiled and nodded. She gave a soft little sound of agreement. Mia looks a little stiff beside me. She leans in and whispers, isn't Cherry being a bit rude? I smile. She's doing great, getting more and more outgoing. Wendell, meanwhile, is clapping his hands with delight. Wonderful, wonderful. Ever since Nuan Nuan came back to me, I felt she was too withdrawn. She stays to herself and doesn't like playing with other kids. Seeing her play with someone her own age like this is just wonderful. Mia hears this, and a flicker of curiosity crosses her eyes. She glances at me. I just smile faintly and don't ask anything more. That's his business. Wendell reads the room well. He speaks up himself. Little brother here already knows my story. The girl is found, but her mother still hasn't forgiven me. I nod and offer quiet reassurance. Take it slow. Some things can't be forced. Let it come naturally. At that he visibly brightens. Little brother, hearing you say that settles my heart. Mia stands beside me watching this exchange, and a trace of surprise passes through her eyes. She hadn't expected someone this successful to hang on my words the way he does. I'll go check on the kids. Mia heads into the yard. Wendell seizes the moment and pulls me aside. Little brother, come. Let's sit in the study. The study is on the second floor. I push the door open and stop short. An elderly man with white hair is sitting inside. He's sipping tea with unhurried ease. The elder of the Gyu family. Wendell looks a little sheepish. It's mainly that my father wanted to meet you. We were afraid you wouldn't come, so we didn't mention it beforehand. I step forward. Good to meet you, sir. The elder sets down his cup and rises. He gives me a nod. Please sit. He pours a cup of tea himself and hands it to me with both hands. You helped bring my granddaughter back to me. This old man owes you at least a cup of tea. I accept it with both hands. You're too kind, sir. I wasn't without my own reasons for helping Wendell. The elder nods. I know. It was for your daughter. He gestures toward Wendell, just as he acted for his daughter. Good for both sides. He pauses, looking at me with sharp, steady eyes. Of course, this old man wanting to meet you isn't without purpose either. I understand immediately. I set down my cup. Please go ahead. He speaks slowly. My son tells me you have a rare gift for reading fortune and fate. I'd like to ask you to do a reading for me. When the elder of the Gyu family asks, I have no way to decline. I know some things about the Gyu family's situation. Unlike other old families whose main influence is domestic, the Gyu family's real power base is overseas. When China opened up economically and urgently needed foreign capital and technology, the elder seized the moment and brought in substantial amounts of both. Combined with relationships he built with founding-era leaders during his years studying abroad, the Gyu family gradually expanded its footprint domestically. Their reach extended into political spheres as well. This kind of background cuts both ways. On one hand, they're never quite fully accepted and often treated as outsiders. On the other, it lends them a kind of untouchable prestige, and they've made few real enemies. When other powerful families expand their interests overseas, they need the Gyu family's help, so they all show the elder a degree of respect. But there is one matter in which the Gyu family offended one of the country's top old families. Years ago, the Gus donated a collection of cultural relics to a museum. A few years later, one of the pieces suddenly appeared at auction. The elder assumed museum staff had stolen it and was furious, insisting on a full investigation. What he didn't realize was that the piece had been borrowed by a senior official. Pushing the investigation offended a powerful figure. The result was that Wendell's older brother Gu Wei Hong's career advancement came to a complete stop. I run through all of this in my mind and look at the elder. I nod. What would you like me to read? Fortune and fate. He pauses. The Gu family's future. I consider for a moment. Then please write a character for me. He picks up the brush and writes a single character on the paper. I study it, then look at the elder. Something comes together in my mind. Some things cannot be said plainly, but they can be hinted at. I pick up the pen and write a short verse beside it. A golden vessel sunk in sand for 20 autumns now. Must it return to light? Of course there is a way. The clouds that hide the sun will always scatter in their time. Just watch the river as it finds its eastward flow. The elder reads the verse, a slight frown forming. He looks up at me. A flicker of disappointment crosses his eyes, but it's quickly concealed. He nods calmly. Thank you. He folds the paper. He says to Wendell, prepare a gift. Thank him on my behalf. I stand and wave it off. You're far too kind, sir. No gift necessary. It was nothing. I excuse myself and leave the study. I know perfectly well the elder probably thinks I was being deliberately vague. That's fine. Some things only need to be pointed at, not explained. The next morning, Mia heads to the fruit supermarket at Wanjiahui first. I take Cherry to preschool, but she's barely been there when the call comes in. Babe, get here fast. The shop is surrounded again. I drop Cherry off at the preschool next door in a hurry. Then I turn and head straight to Wanjiawi. When I arrive, something feels immediately off. A massive crowd has gathered around the fruit shop, packed in layer after layer. I push through and stop dead. Kneeling in a row right outside our door is a line of men. At the front is Big Yong himself. 1 week ago he was swaggering around inside our shop. Now he's kneeling bolt upright at the entrance, head drooped. His face is covered in bruises, blue and purple. Behind him, 4 or 5 of his crew kneel in the same line, all bruised and swollen, 2 of them with arms in slings. The whole row bows in perfect unison, foreheads knocking against the floor tiles with a hollow thud. Not a moment's hesitation from any of them. 2 men stand to the side. Wendell's driver and his bodyguard, both stand with arms folded, watching blankly. The crowd erupts. Isn't that Big Yong? Why is he kneeling here? What kind of person is this fruit shop owner? Big Yong is actually kneeling for her? No idea, she looks pretty young. Didn't expect her to be this untouchable. I don't have time to listen to the chatter. I head straight inside. Mia is sitting behind the register. Her face is blank, just sitting there. But I know her too well. Her hands are wrapped around a cup so tightly her knuckles are white. I walk over. I take her hands in mine. She looks up at me and her eyes go red immediately. Babe, they were already kneeling there when I opened up. I was terrified. I'm almost at a loss for words. Everyone out there thinks you're the tough one not to be messed with. And here you are, scared out of your mind inside. I pat her hand. Then I go find Wendell's driver. What's going on? He's very respectful. Mr. Chen, on the boss's orders. They're here to bow and beg forgiveness. Until you and your wife are satisfied. How many times have they bowed? We stopped counting. They keep going until you say stop. I nod and walk over to Big Yong, crouching down in front of him. Big Yong looks up at me, face drenched in sweat. The skin on his forehead has been worn raw. Blood and sweat running together down his face. Big Yong, we meet again. I look at him calmly. Your people smashed the truck, didn't they? Your people threw out the dragon fruit? Your people beat up our driver too. So what do you think we should do about that? Maybe I leave you with one hand. His face goes white instantly. He starts bowing again. Boss, I was wrong. I failed to recognize who I was dealing with. I'll pay for everything. Name it. With money? Yes. The truck, the fruit, medical bills, I'll pay double. Triple if you want. I wave it off. Keep your money. Are there any other vendors in this market still paying you protection fees? He opens his mouth. Yes or no? Yes. Refund every single one. And from now on, none of your people set foot in this market again. Understood? He nods frantically. Understood. I'll refund them right now. If any of my people ever enter Wanjiawi again, I'll cut my own hand off. I stand up and don't look at him again. The crowd suddenly erupts in cheering. Did you hear that? No more protection fees. The shop owner's wife is incredible. She drove them all out for us. More than incredible. Nobody's touched Big Yong in years. I'm only buying fruit from this shop from now on, the one with that owner. I'm standing right here, completely baffled. I was the one who just handled this. I was the one who got the refunds. I was the one who drove them out. And somehow every single person out here is thanking the shop owner's wife? I glance back at Mia. She's still sitting behind the register. The shock still hasn't fully left her face. Fine, let her be the boss's wife. At the end of the day, the boss's wife still comes home to the boss. Wendell handled the Big Yong situation faster than I expected. I decide to give him one more nudge. The call connects. I thank him first. Wendell, thank you for the Big Yong matter. Nothing to it, Wendell says. I had a word with Third Lie. He won't make another move. I pause. Actually, one more thing. About the reading I did for your father. I never went into detail. Since it involves cultural relics, I didn't want to say too much. Some things are better left unsaid, but peace of mind brings its own blessings. There are things in life that shouldn't be held onto too tightly. Wendell is quiet for 2 seconds. I understand. I'll talk to my father. The call ends. That's enough said. What the GU family chooses to do from here is none of my business. At noon in the shop, a few of us sit around a small table eating takeout boxes. Luo is shoveling rice and scrolling her phone at the same time when she suddenly lets out a gasp. My neighborhood is getting demolished. She's the girl we hired to help Mia with the live stream. A Ninghai local, media studies background, always cheerful and full of energy. Always chattering about something. What demolition? Look, the news alert. She hands me the phone. I take it. The headline is big. Southwest Old City renovation launches. Riverside Business District. Expansion. The content matches exactly what I said at Mr. Liu's dinner table. Old City demolition, Riverside expansion. Every single call I made. I hand the phone back and keep eating. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Mia watching me. She doesn't say anything. But I know that look. She's remembering that night too. I catch her gaze and wink. She blinks, then presses her lips together in a smile, and looks back down at her food. Just then, the screech of hard brakes outside the shop. A large black Mercedes stops right at the entrance. The door flies open and Mr. Liu practically leaps out. Little brother! Little brother! He strides in at full speed. His forehead is already sweating. Mr. Liu, what's wrong? This time I need your help. He drops into the seat across from me. You saw the news about the Southwest District plan? Just saw it. It all came true. He slaps the table. Every word you said that night. The new mayor's first move is exactly what you said. Old City renovation and the Riverside expansion. He draws a deep breath. Little brother, the pressure on me right now is enormous. I tap the table. You called it right and you're still stressed? Because I called it right is exactly why the pressure is enormous. He rubs his hands together anxiously. Yuanjing Group is in the spotlight right now. But old city renovation is anything but easy. Demolition, resettlement, heritage preservation, existing businesses, one mistake in any step, and the people watching me will tear me apart. He lowers his voice. A while back I traded some other plots with several companies to accumulate a lot of land in the Southwest District. Back then they all laughed at me for being an idiot. Now every single one of them is burning with envy, just waiting for me to slip up. I listen without responding. The new mayor has already reached out to me. Mr. Liu continues. Mayor Wen asked me for a detailed plan. I told him I'd have something that satisfies him as soon as possible. He leans forward. Little brother, this time you have to help me, no matter what. I tap the table. Mr. Liu, your company has so many senior executives, plenty of capable people. Something like this requires mobilizing the whole company. It wouldn't be right for me to step in as an outsider. What's not right about it? Come be our CEO. 10 million a year, what do you say? I shake my head. I'm used to doing things my own way. I can't function as a CEO. His mind shifts fast. Then how about this? You come in as executive director, acting in the CEO role. Once the Southwest District project is wrapped up, you walk whenever you want. I won't stand in your way. I smile. I don't have any equity in your company. What kind of executive director would that make me? He gives a sly laugh. I've been picking up quite a bit of Wanjiahui stock lately. All of it goes to you. Then you use that stake in a share exchange with Yuanjing Group. Simple. I pause. Now that's an interesting offer. A stake in Wanjiahui. With that, I'm no longer just a tenant in this market. I become a shareholder in it. That's an entirely different position. I think it over, then hold up 2 fingers. 2 conditions. First, whatever Wanjiahui shares are worth, I pay market price for them. I'll take your goodwill, but the money has to be right. He opens his mouth. I raise a hand to stop him. Second, I look him in the eye. On the Southwest District project, I have full authority. I set the plan, I pick the team, I run the process. Everyone at Yuanjing Group, including you, Mr. Liu, answers to me. Mr. Liu is still for 1 second, then he laughs. Deal. He extends his hand. Little brother, it's settled. 3 days, and all the share exchange paperwork is completed. 4 days in, at an emergency shareholders meeting, Mia and I officially become new shareholders of Yuanjing Group. Her stake is small, but a shareholder is a shareholder. That morning before we leave, she stands in front of the mirror for nearly 20 minutes. Deep navy business suit, hair pinned up, the nape of her neck pale and elegant. I stop and stare. I've never seen her dressed like this before. She's stunning. The shareholders meeting wraps up quickly. I become acting CEO. Mia sits in the back row and watches the whole thing without a word. Let's go meet some people together. Mr. Liu immediately tries to bring Mia along. Sis-in-law, you're a shareholder now too. Come sit in. Mia looks at me, a quiet eagerness in her eyes. I nod. Come listen. The management conference room is packed with senior executives. Familiar faces nod in greeting. The unfamiliar ones look me over with scrutiny, some with outright contempt. Especially the man in the first seat on the left, around 50, whose gaze carries open hostility. Mr. Liu murmurs to me, "That's Hu Quan, former general manager. With you here, his authority shrinks." After Mr. Liu announces the appointment, he adds with extra emphasis, "From this point on, if my opinion ever differs from CEO Chen's, defer to CEO Chen." A murmur ripples through the room. Hu Quan's mouth pulls downward. I stand and give a brief introduction. The applause is thin. Hu Quan doesn't move. I'm about to sit when he speaks. CEO Chen is under 30. A CEO at this age. That's unprecedented in our company's history, isn't it? Someone beside him chimes in. Undergraduate degree, no industry background. Real estate has high professional barriers. Can CEO Chen actually handle this? I don't answer. An executive in glasses picks it up. The Southwest District project involves demolition and renovation. We've revised the plan 6 times, hundreds of pages. Is CEO Chen confident he can take this on? At that, Hu Quan stands and looks directly at me. I have a specific question. The Southwest District renovation has 3 heritage buildings from the late Qing and early Republic periods that must be protected. During construction, the underground utilities will be rerouted and foundations excavated. The slightest miscalculation could cause subsidence and collapse. We've been studying this for a month. Does CEO Chen have a solution? Every person in the room looks at me. Mia quietly tightens her fingers. She can hear this for what it is, a test of authority. If I can't answer, nobody in this room will respect me. I look down at the plans on the table. The 3 heritage buildings are clearly marked. Surrounding utilities and foundation conditions are noted as well. Hu Quan did his homework. I look up and give a faint smile. Time to let Mia see what her husband is made of. Good question, Director Hu. I set the plans back on the table. But before I answer, let me ask you something. You're on the 6th revision of this plan. Budget of 30 million for continuous perimeter walls? Hu Quan pauses half a beat. That's correct, around 30 million. I pivot. Did you know this plan has a fatal flaw? His expression shifts slightly. What flaw? I push the plans forward. Heritage buildings from the late Qing and early Republic period have extremely shallow foundations. At most, no deeper than 2 meters. Your perimeter walls go down 12 meters underground. That punches straight through the foundations. Once you break through, underground water channels shift. Foundation soil erodes. This isn't preservation, it accelerates destruction. Hu Quan's face changes. Low murmuring breaks out across the room. I lean back in my chair, my voice stays unhurried. That's problem 1. Problem 2. The three companies named in this plan: Tiangong Construction, Hongda Geotechnical, Yongchang Pipelines. I pick up the document and flip through it. The legal representative of Tiangong has the surname Hu. That's your cousin. One of the shareholders of Hongda is your nephew. Yongchang Pipelines was registered less than 6 months ago. Its only partner is Yuan Jing. Every contract it has signed is for preliminary work on the Southwest District. The room goes completely silent. Every eye turns to Hu Quan. His face drains bit by bit. That's slander! He shoots to his feet. These are normal business relationships. My cousin has been in construction for over a decade. Why shouldn't he bid? I look at him without responding. I wait for him to finish before I speak slowly. Director Hu, I haven't said they did anything wrong. Why are you this upset? He chokes on his words. I turn to the CFO. Director Lee, would you pull the financial statements for these three companies from the past 2 years? Mr. Liu nods. The 3 reports are brought and placed in front of me. I pick them up, but don't open them. I just hold them and look at Hu Quan. Director Hu, you've been at Yuanjing for 17 years. I'm giving you 2 options. First, you resign right now. I treat this as if nothing happened. I don't open these reports. Second, I open the reports. What follows isn't between you and me. You'll be facing a legal process. The room goes dead silent. Everyone is waiting. He stands there, both hands braced on the table. 1 second, 2, 3. He slowly lowers his head. I resign. I set the reports down. Take care, Director Hu. I look around the room. Not one person meets my eyes. We continue the meeting. By the end of that day, the story has spread through every level of Yuanjing Group. The effect is immediate. Over the following days, every policy I push through moves without friction. Every department cooperates fully. Ask for data, it appears. Ask for staff, they're assigned. I run the team around the clock for a week, until we finally have something to show. The afternoon the plan takes shape, I gather everyone together, and walk through it from start to finish. When I finish, the room is quiet for a few seconds. Then someone starts clapping. The applause builds, louder and louder, until it fills the room. I look around at all those exhausted, red-rimmed eyes. I smile. Go home and sleep. Dinner together tomorrow. Nobody moves. An engineer rubs his hands together. CEO Chen, could you go through the underground utility corridor layout one more time? I didn't quite follow it all, but it felt incredibly impressive. I don't know whether to laugh or sigh. These people had pushed themselves to the point of delirium. But I know, from this day on, every level of Yuanjing Group genuinely respects me. I bring the plan to Mr. Liu. He flips through a few pages and stands straight up. Little brother, this is it. If we pull this off, my whole life will have been worth it. He paces the office in excited circles. 2 circles in, he suddenly stops. The excitement drains from his face and becomes worry. But, just say it straight. He rubs his hands and sits down. First problem, will the city approve it? Mayor Wen just took office. I'm worried he won't have the nerve for it. I smile. We'll bring him around. If nothing works, I'll go with you when the time comes. Mr. Liu's expression relaxes slightly. Then his brow furrows again. Second, it costs too much. Budget is 3 times the original. We need massive loans. What if, I cut him off, when the budget goes up, so does the profit. Long-term returns are 6 to 8 times what we projected before. He gives a pained smile. I know that. But the upfront capital? The banks? I cut in again. No banks. He freezes. What? First phase startup capital is just over 100 million. Surely you have that much. Mr. Liu thinks he misheard. 100 million? The way I read your plan, you can't even get started without 800 million. I give a faint smile. I'll show you what real capital management looks like. That afternoon, in a small conference room at the city government building, Mayor Wen is joined by the heads of housing construction, urban planning, and the finance bureau for the briefing. Mr. Liu sits beside me. He's slightly tense. Go ahead, Mayor Wen nods. I open my materials and speak for 40 minutes straight. By the 20-minute mark, Mayor Wen's pen has stopped moving. He leans back in his chair. He stares at the projection, then at me, unblinking. The bureau directors start exchanging glances. Shock. Disbelief. A trace of confusion. When I finish, I click to the final slide. The room is silent for a full 5 seconds. Mayor Wen picks up his teacup. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions, feel free. Director Zhou is first. You're proposing 3 underground levels in the Old City District. What about the surrounding buildings? What if construction causes subsidence? I open the relevant page. This isn't full excavation. It's a distributed layout. Commercial parking and utility corridors handled separately. Connected using micro-shield boring technology. Surface building foundations reinforced in advance. 12 settlement monitoring points installed under each heritage structure. Data uploaded in real time. Director Wu pushes up his glasses. The Riverside expansion has 7 functional zones. What's the basis for the business mix? Is there a risk of redundant development? I smile. The positioning is entirely distinct. I go through all 7 zones' positioning and strategy without stopping. Director Wu has nothing more to say. Finally, Finance Bureau Director Zheng opens his notebook. Just one question from me. How much does the city need to contribute and how much in guarantees? I smile. Director Zheng, the city doesn't need to contribute anything. Not only does the city not need to put in money, this project actually generates revenue for the city's finances. Director Zheng's eyes light up instantly. Mayor Wen sets down his pen. One question from me. Large-scale demolition has always been the hardest piece to manage. How do you guarantee it finishes on time without incidents? I meet his gaze. A few seconds pass before I speak. Mayor Wen, at the start, there is no demolition. Mayor Wen stops. No demolition? No demolition. Several people in the room freeze. Mr. Liu stares at me in bewilderment, frantically signaling me with his eyes. Mayor Wen looks at me steadily. CEO Chen, old city renovation without demolition, how does that work? I smile. Property swaps. Director Zhou frowns. Swaps? I explain with a smile. Reverse the sequence. Build the Riverside expansion first, old city renovation second. The Riverside new district breaks ground first. Residential, commercial, and office buildings all built to premium standards. Once built, the city issues a policy, government employees, and residents and business owners in the Southwest Old District get priority access to property swaps. I pause. Swap order determined by lottery. Winners trade their old property for a new unit. Any size difference is settled at cost price, far below market rate. The room is quiet for a few seconds. Director Wu stares. You're saying let them move voluntarily? Exactly. I nod. We're not the ones tearing anything down. They want to swap old city conditions versus Riverside new district conditions. Brand new apartments, new surroundings, new infrastructure, and the price difference is low. If it were you, would you take the swap? Director Zhang asks. What about those who don't want to? Once the willing ones have gone, what's left is naturally easier to negotiate. I smile. Fewer people, simpler demands? Then we talk demolition. Difficulty drops by 80%. Director Zhou's mouth hangs open. He finally manages. And the city government employees? They get the same deal? Yes. Officials lead the way. The public follows their example. The first round of swaps will definitely be government employees. I finish and look around. Nobody speaks. Everyone is staring at me like I'm something they've never seen before. I can read the unspoken question in every face. Can you actually do it that way? Mayor Wen stands. We'll study the plan and get back to you as soon as possible. He walks us downstairs and all the way to the car. Before I get in, he reaches out and shakes my hand again. His other hand comes up and claps me firmly on the shoulder twice. He doesn't say a word, but I understand what it means. The plan is approved quickly. Yuanjing Group's teams are restructured and construction kicks into high gear. My days become a constant rotation of blueprints, meetings, coordinating resources. Everything is moving according to plan. What I didn't anticipate is that this very plan would first puncture the largest Ponzi scheme in Ninghai's history. That afternoon, my phone rings. Mia's voice is urgent. Jason, something's happened to Dad. I put down my pen. What happened? Henry called. The investment Dad put money into was a fraud. She's speaking fast. The people have vanished. The money's gone. Dad collapsed from the shock and had to be hospitalized. I'm heading there now. She hangs up. I call Henry directly. He sighs. It's that reverse mortgage retirement scheme, led by a retired official. Supposed to be an exclusive insider opportunity, monthly interest payments. The first few months they actually paid out. Dad was thrilled. He pauses. Then a few days ago some property swap lottery scheme gets announced. Priority swaps for city employees and old district residents. Dad heard about it and panicked. His apartment is tied up as collateral in the scheme. He can't swap it. He and a few others went to find the retired official, wanted to pull out. They were told no problem, redeem any time. Then a couple of days later they go back. The man is gone. House cleared out. Phone disconnected. The project office locked up. Henry's voice cracks. Everyone is panicking. A crowd is gathered at the site demanding police action. You know Dad's temperament. The moment he heard the money was gone, he collapsed on the spot. I'm quiet for 2 seconds. Got it. I'm on my way. I hang up and lean back in my chair, rubbing the bridge of my nose. How did this happen? The plan I presented to Mayor Wen's team. Once the news of priority property swaps for city employees and Southwest Old District residents got out, the response was beyond anything expected. Originally a benefit for city employees, now extended to Old District residents and business owners. These people aren't fools. Of course they want in. Every single one of them is rushing to reclaim the property they mortgaged to that retired official, so they can participate in the swap. They flood in all at once to redeem. A Ponzi scheme's worst nightmare is exactly this kind of mass withdrawal. The money was moved out long ago. Where would the funds to redeem come from? Of course that official ran. I pressed my fingers to my forehead. My intention was to move the project forward. I never imagined it would inadvertently burst a massive fraud and pull my father-in-law into the wreckage. I gather the documents on my desk. I give the team a few quick instructions to keep things moving, then get up and head to the hospital. I arrive at the hospital to find a crowd packed around the entrance. Someone is threatening to jump. On the inpatient building above, I look up. Near the top, a faint figure, arms gesturing. My phone rings. Mia's voice is tight and shaking. Jason, Dad can't take it. He's going to jump. My chest tightens. That figure up there is my father-in-law. Where are you? East side of the building behind it. Come fast. I push around the crowd and run to the back of the building. A police line has been set up. Fire trucks and patrol cars everywhere. Inflatable landing mats are being laid out. Mia is standing to one side, her face completely white. She sees me and rushes over. Her eyes are completely red. We looked away for a second, and he slipped out of the ward. $1 million. The apartment, all of it gone. The shock was too much for him. He can't think straight. I look up. The figure has climbed over the railing and is standing at the very edge. Beside me, Henry is sunk to the ground. Linda is being held up by 2 female officers, crying so hard she can barely stand. I turn to a young officer. What's the current situation? Are you family? I'm his son-in-law. She frowns tightly. The subject is extremely agitated. He has a knife. That railing is badly rusted. It could give way at any moment. Whenever our people try to approach, he sees them. We sent one negotiator up. It hasn't been going well. Before she finishes speaking, a cry erupts from above. My head snaps up. Richard has already climbed over the railing. He's standing on the narrow outer ledge. "Dad!" Henry screams. Linda's eyes roll back and she collapses. Mia's legs buckle. I catch her. "Jason, Jason!" She grips me, tears pouring. I get her seated on the side and turn to go. "Where are you going?" The officer blocks my path. "I'm going up to talk to him." "You can't, it's too dangerous." "I have a way." I go around her and head straight for the stairwell, taking the stairs without stopping until I reach the top floor. The wind on the rooftop is strong. The negotiator stands 10 meters back, one hand raised. "Mr. Shu, money can be earned back. Once a life is gone, everything is gone." Richard has his back to the negotiator, standing on the outside of the railing. He waves a knife. "Don't come any closer, one more step and I jump." I walk over and tap the negotiator on the shoulder. "I'm family. Let me." He hesitates, then slowly steps back. I move forward 2 paces. I stop. "Dad!" Richard's body jerks. He slowly turns his head. When he sees it's me, the veins in his eyes go even redder. "You came to watch me make a fool of myself. I came to watch you jump." He freezes. "Aren't you going to jump?" I take one more step forward. "I'll stand right here and watch." "You..." His whole body shakes, knife pointing at me. "Jason Chen, everything that's happened to me is because of you." I nod. "Yes, because of me. I told you to invest. I told you to mortgage the apartment. I told you to trust that con man." He opens his mouth but nothing comes out. I take another step forward. $1 million gone and now you want to throw away your life too. You think jumping will bring the money back?" His lips tremble. "That was my life savings." "So what?" I cut him off. "If you die, what happens to your wife? What happens to your son? Your daughter is right down there. She will watch you fall. Have you thought about what that does to her for the rest of her life?" The hand holding the knife shakes. "Dad, haven't you always wanted me to divorce your daughter?" I move closer slowly. "Now here's your chance. You've got the knife, I'm right here. Before you jump, take a swing at me. Call it getting even." He stares at me. I keep going. "Don't you hate me?" I spread my hands open. "Come on then. You're done living anyway. Take me down with you. End it all at once." You think I won't?" He suddenly swings the knife. Screams erupt from below. I don't move. I hold his gaze. "If you're going to, then do it. Cut me first, then jump. We die together. Better than dying alone." His knife stops in midair. His arm shakes violently. I take another step forward. Now I'm 3 meters away. The landing mat below is fully laid out, bright orange, looking from up here like a tiny bandage on the ground. "Dad," my voice softens. "Your daughter is right down there. Listen, she's calling out for you." Through the wind, Mia's crying drifts up, faint but unmistakable. Richard's arm shakes harder. Tears roll from his eyes. "Have you even thought about this?" I keep my eyes fixed on him. "If you die," when Cherry asks me where her grandfather went, what do I tell her? That grandpa got cheated out of his money and couldn't cope, so he jumped? She's 5 years old. That kind of thing leaves a mark that never goes away. His knife slowly begins to lower. In that exact instant, the railing lets out a sharp crack. A rusted section snaps. His body lurches. I don't hesitate. I charge forward in one step. My left hand grabs the wrist holding the knife. My right arm locks around his waist. I throw my full weight backward. Both of us go over together. Wind roars. Screaming surges up from below. Then a heavy thud. Everything goes dark. I don't know how much time passes. I open my eyes. The orange landing mat is beneath me. Beside me, Richard lies on his back. Eyes wide open, staring at the sky, completely still. Someone helps me sit up. Sir, are you all right? Where are you hurt?" I don't answer. I look down at my left arm. Blood is running down to my elbow. In the moment I grabbed him, the knife hadn't fully lowered. "Jason!" Mia breaks through the police line and stumbles toward me. She kneels on the mat, staring at the blood on my arm, shaking all over. "How could you be so reckless? How could you be so reckless?" She reaches toward me but is afraid to touch me. Her hands hover in the air. Tears fall in heavy drops. "Do you know what it was like when I watched you fall? She can't finish the sentence. She throws her arms around me and cries out loud. "Without you, what would Cherry and I do?" I lift my uninjured right hand. I gently pat her back. "It's fine, just a surface wound." She keeps crying louder now. Medical staff rush over. They press me onto a stretcher. Before I'm carried away, I look back. Richard is being helped into a sitting position. Every ounce of strength has left his body. He stares blankly in this direction. He's not looking at me. He's looking at his daughter, kneeling on the mat, holding me, crying herself apart. In the emergency surgical room, the doctor opens the wound with forceps and examines it. "You're lucky. No tendon damage. 7 or 8 stitches. Rest for 2 weeks. Mia stands beside me, eyes still red. Each time the needle passes through skin, her hand gives a small tremble. "Does it hurt?" "No. Once it's sutured and bandaged, I flex my arm. It's fine." Mia still hasn't moved from her spot. She stays until Henry comes in. "Mia, Mom's asking for you." Mia glances at me. "Go ahead," I say. "I'll be right here." She leaves. Henry sits down across from me. "So, Jason, today, thank you." I wave it off. He's quiet for a few seconds, then asks, "Where are you two living now?" "Warm home." He scoffs. "Warm home? Sure, okay. I'd sooner believe you live in a park. He stops mid-sentence. His gaze drops to the bandaging on my arm and he swallows the rest of what he was going to say. I look at him. She married who she married. If your sister is happy living wherever I live, what business is it of yours? He chokes on that. He gets up and walks to the door, then turns back. Mom asked me to tell you, the apartment is gone now. The money too. Even if you wanted to go back, there's nothing to go back to. Take care of yourselves. I nod. We moved out and we won't be going back. Tell your parents the Ponzi scheme has collapsed. The money is probably gone for good, but the apartment isn't going anywhere. Once the case is resolved, they should get it back. I go home and rest for half a day. The next day I'm back at the office as usual. That afternoon a project progress meeting. Everything is moving as planned. After the meeting, Mr. Liu pulls me into his office. Little brother, it's time to think about the first phase funding. What we can mobilize right now is just over 200 million. Based on your plan, the first phase needs 8 to 10 million. Should we go to the banks for a loan? If so, it would help to have the mayor put in a word with them. I shake my head. No need. I pull a piece of paper from my bag and push it across to him. Open me an account, domestic and international futures trading. His eyes go wide. Futures trading? You know how risky that is? What if you lose everything? I say with certainty. Trust me, we won't lose. Get the account set up and let me know. Everything else, you handle as you see fit. 3 days later, all the accounts are set up. For the next week, I practically live at the office. Daytime is for project work. Evenings are for watching the international markets. Sometimes I'm still watching at 3 or 4 in the morning. Mia is beside herself with worry. The first evening she shows up carrying a thermos pot. She pushes open the door and finds me staring at screens. She sets the pot on the desk. Drink the pork rib soup first, then you can get back to it. I look up at her. Behind her, a tiny head pokes out. Daddy, Mommy said you're hurt and you're still working. I came to keep an eye on you. Cherry runs over and squeezes in beside me. I laugh. All right, keep watch then. Mia sits down nearby. She frowns at the tangle of colored lines on the screen. Can anyone actually read the stuff? I smile. Your husband is a man of many talents. That evening, they stay until 10:30. After that, they come every day. Something different in the thermos pot every single time. Mr. Liu stops going home to sleep too. He has a room next door cleared out. At night he sits with me, watching the markets. When he can't follow what's happening, he just sits. Every so often he asks, any movement? Not yet, I say. He keeps waiting. On the third evening he calls in the office manager. He sets up 2 shift rotations. Triple pay for the night shift. Making sure everything on my end is covered. 20 minutes later, coffee and refreshments are brought in. Mr. Liu leans back on the couch and mutters, I'm the chairman and I've never been treated this well. I keep my eyes on the screen and say nothing. The CFO, Director Lee, had come to find me specifically about this. He spoke earnestly. CEO Chen, 200 million is not a small number. High leverage, high volatility. One wrong move, and the entire principal could be wiped out overnight. The company is in the middle of the Southwest District project. If this capital takes a loss, project timelines get hit. Bank credit lines become a problem. He had every valid point. I smiled. Director Lee, I know all of this, but you don't understand how I operate. Just watch. Mr. Liu was quiet for a few seconds, then he waved a hand. Do it the way CEO Chen says. Director Lee drew a long breath. He nodded and walked out. On the 6th evening, the lines on the screen start moving. I fix my eyes on the figures. My fingers tap quietly on the keyboard. Mr. Liu leans over. Is it starting? Getting close. He nods. After all these days of waiting, it's finally coming. The market starts to move. I watch the screen. I start typing. Mr. Liu leans in. How's it looking? Easy, I say. I open the trading interface. I start placing short positions. 10 million, 20 million, 50 million, spread across batches. He watches the numbers jumping. His throat moves as he swallows. The first day, no drop. The second day, a rebound. The short positions are showing unrealized losses. He can't sit still. He paces the room in circles. The atmosphere is suffocating. The third evening, I'm watching the market. Mr. Liu is on the couch with his eyes shut. The door opens. A young woman comes in carrying a tray. Coffee and snacks arranged neatly. Mr. Liu startles awake. He glances at her. New here? Yes, just started in admin. My name is Shu Win. Mr. Liu pauses. Win, the character for winning. Now that's a name. I can't help smiling. When people are under pressure, they'll find meaning in anything. I say, Shu Win. Starting right now, you're my assistant. She's stunned for a moment, but she recovers quickly. Yes, CEO Chen. I won't let you down. Another day passes. Finally, the market moves. The candlestick bar turns downward. A single red bar swallows all 3 days of gains. The unrealized losses start shrinking. Mr. Liu stares at the screen. He's afraid to blink. Evening close. Account roughly flat. He lets out a long, slow breath. He collapses onto the couch. Little brother, my heart can't take much more of this. We haven't even started yet, I say. He sits bolt upright. This isn't even the start? I nod. The next morning, the regular company meeting. Department heads report their progress. Finally, materials procurement comes up. The construction manager stands. Phase 2 is about to break ground. We need to pre-order steel and cement now. Prices are still reasonable right now. In another 2 weeks they could go up. Mr. Liu looks at me. I shake my head. Wait 3 more days. The construction manager gets tense. CEO Chen, delays to the schedule mean added costs. If materials go up, labor follows right behind. I said wait 3 days. He opens his mouth. He looks at Mr. Lu. Mr. Lu waves a hand. Do what CEO Chen says. Meeting's over. That evening, the market is flat and quiet. Narrow, listless movement. Nothing happening. Mr. Lu sinks into the couch. His eyelids grow heavier and heavier. Finally, he's fully asleep. I keep watching the screen, a little drowsy myself. The door opens quietly. Win comes in with a tray. In the exact instant the door opens, the numbers on the screen suddenly lurch. A large red candle crashes straight through the support level. My eyes light up. Here it is. I can't help glancing at Win. This girl is somehow good luck. The moment she opens the door, the market moves. Mr. Lu jolts awake. He rubs his eyes and sits. What happened? Come and see. He springs off the couch like he's been jolted with electricity. He shoots over to the computer. The numbers on screen are going wild. Red bar after red bar hammering downward. The account balance starts doubling. 200 million becomes 400 million. 400 million becomes 500 million. Mr. Lu's eyes go wide. His mouth hangs open. Not a single word comes out. He reaches for the coffee beside him on instinct. He takes a sip. It's scalding. He winces. But his eyes never leave the screen. His voice shakes. Little brother, should we close the positions? This seems like enough, doesn't it? What's the rush? I open the trading interface. We're not closing. We're adding to the position. His face twitches. Still adding? 200 million already became 500 million. I'm more than satisfied. I click the mouse a few times. I add another 20% to the position. He watches me do it. His hands are shaking. The day closes. Profits pull back slightly. 450 million remaining. But the position is heavier now. I take out my phone. I message Mia. Transfer the 20 million from my account to the futures account. She replies quickly. Done. Be careful. I smile. I set the phone aside. The next day, Mr. Lu is distracted and restless all day long. He barely makes it to 10 at night. The session hasn't even opened, but the pre-market is already moving. During the auction phase, the price gaps sharply lower at open, then keeps falling. Mr. Lu stares at the screen. He looks like he's been nailed to his chair. He doesn't move at all. I open the account. Profit 1.7 billion. He swallows. Little brother, still not closing? Not yet. To what then? I look at the screen. Until it goes negative. His legs go weak. He nearly slides off his chair. One hand grabs the table. He steadies himself. Negative? Little brother, are you serious? Completely serious. He holds the edge of the table. He slowly sits back down. He doesn't say another word. He just stares at the screen. In the early hours, the price approaches zero. I start closing positions in batches. I close out a portion of the shorts, locking in profits. The rest, I hold for the final move. At 3:17 in the morning, the price hits zero. Mr. Lu shoots to his feet. My fingers fly across the keyboard. The last batch of short positions closes. The number on screen locks in, 2.3 billion. Mr. Lu drops back into his chair. He breathes in loud, heavy gulps. I open the other account. Mia's 20 million has become over 300 million. It's not over. At 320, the price keeps falling. It finally settles at negative $37.63. Mr. Lu stares at that number. He slowly turns to look at me. His eyes are the eyes of someone looking at something not quite human. Little brother, can I bow down to you right now? I laugh. He stares blankly. 2.3 billion, my God. He suddenly sits up straight. He grabs my arm. Little brother, what are we doing messing around in real estate? Let's just do futures full-time, the two of us. Neither of us sleeps. At 9, the domestic futures market opens. Overseas markets crashed overnight. The morning session here will follow without question. This is exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. I open the trading interface. I start placing orders. Rebar, hot-rolled coil, glass, cement, everything the project will need, I buy. The prices are absurdly low. In the other account, I've already closed out the short positions. Near $0, I've flipped to long positions on crude oil. Oil is still trading below $10 right now, cheaper than bottled water. But I know before long a war in the north will push the price to $130. Buying now is like picking up cash off the floor. I don't leave Mr. Lu's account idle either. From the 2.3 billion, I pull out 1 billion. I build long positions gradually. Crude oil, copper, rubber, a little of everything that's available. 9:30, the first batch of orders fills. 10 o'clock, the second batch. 11 o'clock, the third. Watching the trade confirmations tick across the screen, I let the corner of my mouth curl up. That's enough. 2 in the afternoon management meeting, I walk into the conference room. Everyone is already seated. Mr. Lu sits at the head of the table. His face is glowing. CEO Chen is here. Sit, sit, sit. I take my seat. I look around the room. Director Lee, the CFO, the construction manager, marketing director, several vice presidents, all present. Mr. Lu clears his throat. He gets straight to it. Phase 1 funding is secured. The room exchanges glances. Mr. Lu points at me. Guess how much CEO Chen made for the company last night? He holds up 2 fingers. More than doubled. He holds up 2, then 3 fingers. 2.3 billion. Starting capital, 200 million. Last night, we made 2.3 billion. The room erupts. Director Lee shoots to his feet. His chair scrapes back several feet. He stares at me wide-eyed. His mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. I wave a hand. Director Lee, take a breath and sit down. Everyone, the market simply gave us a move. We happened to catch it. Mr. Liu roars with laughter, completely undignified. You all saw the news? Oil went negative yesterday. What kind of person just happens to catch an opportunity like that? I certainly don't have that kind of luck, but that's fine. CEO Chen does. He pushes himself up from the table with both hands. Now we're in business. Phase 1 funding is secured. Phase 2 is no problem either. The Southwest District project, we go full throttle. The applause is thunderous. When it settles slightly, Mr. Liu drops another bombshell. Everyone in the company from top to bottom, including the cleaning staff, gets an $8,000 bonus. Everyone who put in overtime during this stretch gets double overtime pay. A little after 4 in the afternoon, Mia comes in carrying the thermos pot to bring me soup. I notice her expression is a little off. What's wrong? I think I just saw my brother. Henry? Yeah, in the lobby downstairs. As the elevator doors were closing, I saw someone who looked just like him. I think he saw me too. But he didn't come in. Probably hear about a contract, I say. A lot of companies have been coming in lately. I call the marketing director, ask him to look into it. A few minutes later the call comes back. CEO Chen, I found him. A manager HSU came by earlier, but his company hasn't been awarded any contracts yet. Should I arrange something, CEO Chen? I smile. If something suitable comes up, sure. This company has some connection to one of our shareholders, but no special treatment, standard process. Understood. I hang up. Mia looks at me. Did you arrange something for them? Just something in passing. What I didn't expect was that this small, offhand arrangement would end up arranging trouble for myself. That evening when I get home, I barely step through the door when I see Mia on the couch. Her eyes are red. She's clearly been crying. My chest tightens. What happened? She shakes her head and says nothing. Cherry runs over and wraps her arms around her. Mommy's been crying. I crouch down and ask Cherry what happened. Cherry puffs up her little face. At dinner today, she says, indignant, Grandpa hit Mommy and called Mommy shameless. Anger shoots straight to my head. That old man threw himself off a ledge at the hospital and I was the one who went up and pulled him back, and now he's hitting my wife. I take a deep breath. I swallow the anger and take Mia by the shoulder so she's facing me. Mia, whatever it is you can tell me. I will not allow anyone to treat you that way. Ever. Her tears spill over again. She collapses into my arms and holds on tight. Don't ask. Jason, please don't ask. I can't say it. I hold her and gently rub her back. When she's calmer, I turn to Cherry. Was Uncle Henry there today too? He was. I take out my phone and call Henry directly. Henry, what happened today? He pauses. Then his tone shifts. You have the nerve to ask me? Jason Chen, you've got some nerve. You throw your own wife into the fire and now you're playing innocent? I grip the phone. Say what you mean. Fine, I'll say it clearly. You're pimping my sister out to Lu Xingrong as his mistress in exchange for wealth and status, aren't you? Lucy's classmate took photos. At the car show, Lu Xingrong buying your wife a car, a Mercedes worth over $1 million just like that. And I saw it myself. My sister going to Yuanjing Group, thermos pot in hand, taking the executive elevator, trading your wife for status. Jason Chen, have you no shame? I hold the phone and say nothing. So that's what it was. That's the humiliation she endured at that dinner table. All those relatives looking at her that way, saying those cutting, pointed things, her father slapping her across the face in front of everyone, all because of a car, a single elevator, a lie built out of nothing. Something twists inside me. Then a wave of fury. Mia is still sitting on the couch, head down, shoulders trembling slightly. I take a slow breath and speak carefully, word by word. Henry, your company has recently received several contracts from Yuanjing Group. All going on your performance record, I assume? A pause on his end. What are you implying? Those contracts are gone. And the apartment your family lost to that scam. I was going to put in a word to speed up the process so you get it back sooner. Now you can wait? At least 3 years. Jason Chen. I hang up. I toss the phone onto the coffee table. Mia looks up at me, eyes still red, tears still on her cheeks. I walk over and pull her into my arms. It's over. I'm here. Cherry runs over too and wraps her arms around both our legs. First thing the next morning, the marketing director calls. CEO Chen, manager Ichosu from that company is here again. He's asking about the contracts being pulled. He wants to know what's happening. I give a cold laugh. Tell him he offended a shareholder of this group. Tell him to go home and think about that. If he can't figure it out, his company won't be winning a single contract in Ninghai, ever. I hang up and go back to my documents. I can picture the expression on Henry's face when he hears that. Working in real estate marketing in Ninghai, and somehow managing to offend a shareholder of Yuanjing Group. The implications of that are a death sentence in this industry in Ninghai. That afternoon, the marketing director calls again. CEO Chen, their company president, has come in too, together with manager SU. I say I'm in a meeting and have them turned away. I smile. If something suitable comes up, it's fine to arrange a little. Leave them waiting. Don't bother with them. The next day, I barely settled into my chair when the marketing director calls again. CEO Chen, manager SU, and their president Yang are back. I check the time. 9:30. Yesterday, I kept them waiting 2 hours, and today they're back first thing in the morning. Clearly, they're genuinely rattled. Take them to the main conference room. The conference room. CEO Chen, today is the supplier meeting. Exactly. Have them sit in on that one. A beat of silence. Understood. I hang up. I gather my materials. For the Southwest District Project, Yuanjing Group is the general contractor. Old City renovation plus Riverside expansion is a scale too large for any one company to handle alone. Steel, cement, advertising, events, all the suppliers need to be brought in together today to make the rules clear. At 10 sharp, I push open the conference room door. The room is packed. I scan the room and spot Henry and President Yang immediately. They arrived late and ended up on 2 extra chairs pushed against the wall. Awkward and conspicuous. Hard to miss. Henry's eyes land on me. His expression freezes instantly. Mouth open, eyes wide. He looks like someone just pressed a pressure point on him and he stopped working. I don't acknowledge him. I walk straight up to the podium. Everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Jason Chen, newly appointed CEO of Yuanjing Group. Murmuring in the room, people exchanging glances. The reason I brought all of you here today is the Southwest District Project. Old City renovation, Riverside expansion. How big this is, I don't need to tell you. Everyone in this room over the next 3 years will have a share of what this project brings. But there is one condition. My voice drops. Every supplier moves together by one plan. Material standards, construction timelines, inspection procedures all follow the plan exactly. Anyone who drops the ball is out. I look across the room. Yuanjing Group eats the meat. You get the broth. But how that broth gets distributed, I decide. A few seconds of silence below. Then someone speaks up. CEO Chen, you have our full cooperation. Whatever you need, just say the word. We follow your lead. The voices grow louder. Every face in the room lit up with excitement. Back in my office, I've barely been sitting for 10 minutes when Win calls. CEO Chen, President Yang and Manager HSU are asking to see you. Send them in. The door opens. President Yang comes in beaming. He extends his hand before he's even fully through the door. CEO Chen, the first time I saw you here, I could tell you were someone exceptional. And in such a short time, you're already CEO of Yuanjing. Truly impressive for someone so young. I shake his hand. You flatter me, President Yang. Henry follows behind him and stops at the doorway. Can't quite come in. Can't quite leave. I don't look at him at all. Win, make a cup of tea for President Yang. Win acknowledges it and brings a cup over and sets it in front of President Yang. Henry stands there. His face goes red, then pale, then red again. No tea for him. President Yang's eyes move carefully around the room. A man like him can read immediately that something is going on between Henry and me. But he also knows we're family. Some things can't be said directly. I cut straight to it. President Yang, you're here about the contracts. He pauses. I point at Henry. Until his problem is resolved, your company gets nothing. Henry's expression shifts. President Yang immediately grabs him. Shoo. He holds Henry's arm. What are you doing? Is there something you can't just talk through properly? If you did something wrong, just apologize to CEO Chen and be done with it. Henry feels it like a weight dropping on his chest. His face goes a deep dark red. President Yang looks at him, then at me, and wisely gets to his feet. CEO Chen, I'll let you two talk. I'll wait outside. He pushes through the door and goes. The office is just me and Henry now. I lean back in my chair and look at him. Henry, do you know what shareholder of Yuanjing Group you offended? He blinks. I'm not talking about myself. I don't particularly care what you do to me. You offended my wife, your sister, Mia. She is currently a shareholder of Yuanjing Group. Henry's eyes go completely round. That's impossible. I give a cold laugh. I told you we live at Warm Home and you didn't believe me. I tell you your sister is a shareholder of Yuanjing and you don't believe that either. Then what exactly did you just see in that conference room? And what are you looking at right now standing here in front of me? His throat moves. I pick up the phone. Should I call Chairman Liu and have him tell you himself exactly who was present at the last Yuanjing Group shareholders meeting? Henry is completely petrified. He stands in front of me like a tree that's been struck by lightning. That evening, Cherry is asleep. After Mia finishes her shower, she slips under the covers and presses close against me. I put my arm around her. A quiet moment. Then she speaks softly. Jason, thank you. For what? She doesn't answer. She just rests her head against my chest. Sometimes when I think about it, it feels like a dream. The way things are for us now. Cherry is well. Business is good. We have a good home. She pauses. It's just when I think back to our wedding, it hurts a little. It was so bare. Nobody from your side came. And my parents with that attitude of theirs. Not even a proper ceremony. She buries her face in my chest and doesn't say any more. I hold her without speaking, but something stirs inside me. I wasn't yet reborn when they married. The original Jason, that degenerate gambler, never gave the wedding a second thought. Mia married him against her whole family's wishes and got through that meager event entirely on her own. Now she's saying this. I should give her a wedding. As if I'm marrying her again. For the first time. As that thought takes shape and I feel the warmth of her against my chest, something quietly begins to stir with excitement inside me. Once I've decided, I move. The next day is Sunday. I'm up early. Mia is still asleep. I kiss her on the forehead and head straight to the oldest jewelry store in Ninghai. The owner, who specializes in custom pieces, listens to what I want and takes out a box. Mr. Chen, you're in luck. We just received a 5-carat colorless, flawless diamond, Belgian cut. Exceptional brilliance. Inside the box sits a loose stone pure as a frozen drop of water under the light. The quality is exceptional. We just hadn't found anyone worthy of it. If you'd like it, We can fire the furnace right now. Custom setting on the spot. How long will it take? 3 hours? I nod. Fire it up. 2 hours later, a perfect round-cut diamond rests on black velvet. Every facet catches the light and scatters it into fragments, like holding a star in the palm of your hand. Back home, Mia has just woken up. She's wandering around the living room in her pajamas. Cherry is sprawled on the couch drawing. I walk over. I get down on one knee. I take out the ring box and open it. Mia goes still. The last wedding doesn't count. This time, it is I, Jason Chen, who wants to marry you. She covers her mouth. Tears rush out all at once. She can't speak. She just nods, nods and nods. Cherry jumps off the couch and runs over. Mommy's crying. Daddy, you're being mean to Mommy. Mia laughs through her tears. He's not being mean. She can't finish the sentence. She just holds me tight. I slide the ring onto her finger. A perfect fit.